while I'm here. Ooh, because I got quite a lot of world things. I should be the most. That should be the most recent. Okay. Got these. New folder. Power World. I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna upload these to you. But we'll see. 3 items, 200. Wow, 253 gigabytes of Power World stuff. I got recording right now. Ooh, 72 gigabytes free. I need to check and if over to you that last VOD is uploaded, because if not, we're probably in trouble.
Dang you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
You know, the other bad thing is that Crowded is also coming. Play.
What?
Another survival crafting game. R58. Yep, that is the thing.
I mean, like,
honestly, I could see myself playing Power World by myself.
I kind of like. I will say that I am admittedly, I partake in the slop, but fucking survival open world crafting, game is definitely like the most generic slop video game shit of the current day and age.
I mean, yeah, they died down for a little while, but they're coming back. Back for sure. Okay, we should be fixed now. I should have just a little bit more space. I've got.
Open my notes.
Oh, Doug, I'm sorry about last week. I thought I wasn't muted and I was talking to you until you said you were going, and I looked down and noticed I was still muted.
Oh.
Oh dear.
I wasn't trying to be a jerk and just ignore you. I just dumb.
Yeah. well, I was like, oh, okay. I guess he's busy. I'll just go and grind the quarter. I'm kidding. No, it wasn't too bad. I figured that you probably were doing something else, or you were distracted or something. But
oh my god!
I didn't take it personally.
Oof! It is. Hopefully, I may have made a little mistake trying to stream so much today because I'm now a little bit mentally fatigued. I'm gonna try to get some Wawa in my bod.
Also, I did see another thing that I didn't really think about when I was like, because I've mentioned obviously to you, Dominic, that I've been thinking about like next time we get a level like multi-classing Solera. But there was another thing. Somebody said that Soul of Artifice is a good like ability, but the problem is that usually by the time you reach level 20 in a campaign, it's over. Like, you are about to finish it. You're not gonna get a chance to use that ability.
That's the hard thing with level 20 in general, because level 20 is the ultimate like goal, and it is the end point. But they have really cool abilities sometimes, and so when you're stuck without being able to use them, it feels a little bit anticlimactic. But
that's why there's technically stuff after level 20. It's just rare for people to actually need it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's like the legendary boons and the grand feats or whatever.
Because I know, like, in older editions of D&D, there were literally, like, prestige classes, but I don't think they've done that for 5e.
Yeah, I don't think they did any of that for 5e. They did touch a little bit, just briefly, on some of the other after level 20 stuff.
Yeah, because I remember seeing, like, there's a couple, like, older books that I think give stuff up to, like, level, or, like, a theoretical level 30.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of stuff that Dungeon Dad does videos about are monsters that were specifically designed for, like, those level 30 parties, so they're just like insanely like overpowered and ridiculously like intricate.
You know what's a good idea that I think could maybe be utilized in a homebrew rule for a campaign? It's the Kingdom of Loathing Ascension, which, despite being in a browser
Well,
game that is mostly jokes, is a really great idea that could make a single character not only go through multiple campaigns, but to reward them for going through multiple campaigns and being reincarnated.
you're gonna have to
Mhm.
explain something, Dominic, because at least I do not know what you're talking about.
Oh, in Kingdom of Loathing, basically the game runs on ascensions and lives. So you go through the game once, and you do it as a particular class, and you do like a whole build or whatever, and then when you beat it, you get reincarnated back at the very start as level 1, but you get to pick one ability to come with you from your previous class.
Mm.
Basically, like, let's say you're a
I mean,
disco bandit, you can
to
keep
be
like
fair,
an ability that ups your.
something like that. Like, sure, there's no official systems, but I'm sure if you have a cool DM, it
Oh
wouldn't be
yeah,
that hard to
that's what I was
implement
saying.
something like that.
I know Cyberpunk actually has a similar system to that where if your character ends up dying and depending on like how things went for like you get character points or player points and you use those points to put towards a new character. So that way they will probably have a little bit harder time getting killed, hopefully.
Well, I'm talking about on
Oh.
successful campaigns. Like when your
Yeah, yeah,
character
yeah, yeah.
reaches level
Yeah.
20 and
Yeah.
the campaign
Yeah.
is over, you choose to have them
True.
come back with, let's say you get to pick one ability from that class's list to reincarnate them into, which would not only get you to do another class maybe, but it would make you have to think about which ability you're bringing over. Like, sure, it would be really easy for, say, somebody who played rogue to bring evasion onto any other class or fighter, but let's say you're playing a paladin and you go through your whole thing and some of your stuff is only available for paladins, but you can find a way to make stuff work for other classes. Like, what is the oh god, hang on, I'm gonna look this up. Because if you look up paladin classes,
Paladin's nuts.
is the let's go for the Oath of
Is Cameron here?
Devotion. Yeah, Cameron, I think is
Yeah, I'm
here
here.
now.
Oh, okay.
I was helping
Here we
with
go.
Sigurd.
Holy Nimbus. At 20th level, as an action, you can emanate an aura of sunlight for 1 minute. Bright light shines from you in a 30-foot radius, and dim light shines 30 feet beyond that. Whenever an enemy creature starts to turn in the bright light, the creature takes 10 radiant damage. In addition, for the duration, you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by fiends or dead. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again. Okay, so basically, you could take that and put it on a different character, and, like, you suddenly have a level 1 rogue who can suddenly flashbang everyone. And I think that it would be interesting if a large group was doing that, so the entire party had that kind of power level, and because the DM would have to accommodate for the addition of ascension powers or ascension perks.
Yeah, you would either need like obviously everybody would have to have one of those, or else some people would just be like,
Oh yeah, no,
okay,
100%. That's why when you say move from one campaign to the next, like at the end of P's and Q's, when I intend you guys to be level 20, you guys could reincarnate into a different universe. Hell, you could be an entire different character when you do that.
I mean, I've said before, if we as much as I like Solera, if we like start a new game, I'm gonna be playing one of my other 50 fucking backlog characters
But
that I'm just
imagine
sitting on.
imagine you were able to bring Soul of Artifice onto another character at level 1. Interesting thought. It would also give people a reason to bring certain characters up to level 20 without multi-classing, because some of those late game features would be, better than some of the early game features that you could just get by multi-classing anyway. Or it could be used to get a certain multi-class feature that you were gonna dump.
Well, actually, technically, I think Soul of Artifice would be useless on anyone that wasn't. Well, not useless, but it wouldn't be nearly because what is it? Okay, yeah, the plus ones are specifically that you're attuned to. So you would really only benefit from the plus one to saving throws thing. The other half of Soul of Artifice would be useless because you don't have infusions.
That is true.
So,
Though, to be entirely honest with you, the
unless you replaced it with like you could destroy just a regular uninfused magic item
if
to get the same effect.
if I'm being honest, that part of Soul of Artifice is really shit anyway. To be entirely honest, because like, what is it? Half orcs can just do that, or is it orcs?
You're the one who's sitting here trying to tell me for months not
Hold
to
on, let me
multi-class
check
Solera because
hold
no,
on.
wait, it's good actually.
Well, the other part of it is actually incredibly good because, you know, having up to
I
+4 to all
guess.
saving throws is great. That is an additional 20% chance
Well, I mean,
to
technically,
save
it would
against
be
anything.
+6 to all saving throws.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. It's you can gain up to 6 of them. My God. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
a plus. That's plus
I mean, the
30%.
biggest thing that like gets it about me is just because like between where I am now and Soul of Artifice, there's nothing at all.
Uh,
I
I don't
I
think
get
would
so.
definitely bet it.
2 ability scores improvements, and I get to attune to an additional magic item at level 18.
You also have a specialist choice from your
No, I
subclass.
already got that. We're already level
Oh
15
no,
though.
you're right. You're right. So then you get
I get at
Okay.
16 an ability score improvement.
well, also
Literally nothing at level
spell
17.
slots.
So, Dom,
I mean, I guess, but
Yeah, because you'll be
You're
getting
gonna
5th
need-
level spell slots up to this. What's up, Cameron?
Dom, you're gonna need to remind me we're not playing in that snow until it melts, because he also cut his pads up. Didn't even notice.
Honestly, I think actually I probably would take Shulker Luck as a thing because that's really good.
just
So that's what I
good.
meant, yeah, when I said that Rogue would benefit from it greatly and very easily, because you could take Stroke of Luck for any character. Though, quite honestly,
And
I would rather take Evasion or something else.
I mean, evasion and a lot of the other feats are also really great as well. But I don't know. I'm just thinking of yeah. I guess if you're Shulker Luck's only good for like a one time thing, and then that's it.
You could also do Cleric and steal Divine Intervention. And then all your character has to do is follow a deity, and you can call on that deity. Or maybe here's a thought that would be really great for roleplay. Your character might not follow the particular deity from your last reincarnation, but they can call upon that deity to help them. Maybe by accident, or maybe they try to call out to a deity, and that deity shows up.
I love this cooking. I love this.
See, this is
like,
what I'm talking
your
about.
last character, like you do your thing where you make that like paladin of TM.
Yes, my paladin of Tiamat,
Yeah.
who I am
And
absolutely
then
excited to
like
play
you
sometime.
go into another campaign where you're like a cleric of Bahamut, and you're just like
You pray for well, it would have to specifically be play the cleric because they get divine intervention, and then you come in as the paladin of Tiamat and you pray for a divine intervention, and Bahamut shows up and then he eats you because he hates you. But see, this is the thing.
would that
You could
well,
create
if
so
you did
many
it that way
interesting
around, would that
things.
immediately break your oath?
No, because you technically didn't mean to. I mean, sometimes you can break your oath without meaning to, for sure. But I think asking for Tiamat to come save you and then Bahamut just showing up, that's not on you. That's not on you.
The ultimate. Oh, see, I hear he's worshiping Tiamat. I hear. Let me just bring in the big guns right now for him to witness.
You know, I hope one of y'all actually runs a D&D campaign so I can play this Paladin of Tiamat. Not only because I want to play Paladin, because Paladin is ballin', but because playing as an evil character that isn't just a murder hobo bastard is one of the things I've wanted to do for years. Because playing an evil character is an interesting side of a party to have. You know? Oh, but Tiamat's all about killing everything and stealing everything and delivering destruction. No,
I think
dipshit.
we're
Mostly just government
way
officials.
over,
We're
our,
all-
You're also a paladin.
bullshit
You
line
don't
here.
have to follow the god. You follow a conviction.
yeah,
Yep.
but my conviction
what-
is also
That's why I have the
you know.
Goliath paladin. That's his entire goal in life is to bring back Kronos. So all the gods view him as evil, even though his alignment is technically good.
Dude,
Because
you're,
he's trying
you're
to
Goliath and
awaken a
my
god
Dragonborn.
killer.
You're,
And,
you're Goliath and my
technically
Dragonborn. Just
speaking,
yes.
and also you like be aware though too that like, for example, Sebastian, if I like, it wouldn't break my oath to go and steal stuff, technically speaking, because my oath specifically, it would break my like tenets of the god that I worship, but it wouldn't technically break my oath because my oath is oath of vengeance.
Bahamut's just
Vengeance
gonna
is
put
all
you in the
about
naughty corner for a while.
punishing. Yeah,
I was
like
gonna
the
say,
oath of vengeance
Bahamut,
is purely about punishing the wicked.
Bahamut won't be angry. You'll be
Baldur's
upset.
Gate 3 has taught me that paladins, Oath of Vengeance paladins, do break their oath if they don't kill hags.
Well, yeah, because you're not punishing a wicked
A wicked entity. You're not
A wicked
smiting. You're not
entity.
smiting her into
I mean,
oblivion.
I made her rip off her scalp. Does that not count for something?
Yeah, but then you ate it. Like, don't
Yeah.
pretend.
It does, well, because
Because it
she's
made
still
my
at large.
muscles bigger.
Anyway,
Well,
we need to
'cause she's
move
still at
on
large.
because now we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and that's a bad rabbit hole.
We're 10 minutes past BS.
Welcome.
Sometime.
Welcome back to P's and Q's. Parker is once again not here because apparently he caught the flu, and last week we couldn't do it because of a fucking storm.
Like, admittedly, I'm starting to feel a little bit bad about playing without Parker, but if we didn't play every time Parker couldn't come, I don't think we would have played a single time in the last 2 months.
It's okay, he's still in his demi-plane, booling and doing whatever the fuck he's doing.
The bard has buried him.
Like, at this point,
I have
like,
played my favorite
at this
game
point,
of Bury the Gnome.
if I, got sick or couldn't show up or anything, like, I obviously wouldn't want the game to be played without me, but at this point, I feel like it's only fair.
Anyway, just as a quick like reach out to ask most of the people, I have a warlock who's very charismatic that I'm playing, and his name is he's a halfling whose name is Benny Berrytongue because everything that comes out of his mouth is super sweet. Name good, name bad. I'll take it.
Name, I'm gonna punch you in the throat for telling me that.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, it is. Oh God, what day is it? What year is it?
Didn't even wait for anybody else to say anything. You just
No, that's all I
Moving
needed to
on.
hear.
It's
It's the 25th of Nidal in the year 749 AC,
Oh,
and
Christ, I didn't open the whole 20 God.
it is noon. After a massive battle outside of the gates of a large fortress where Kholm's tribe exists, you took down not only a necromancer who appeared to be some kind of officer for the army, but you also took down an undead triceratops, a foe you have yet to have fought, which may be a sign that things are a little bit scary up in that big old city. Anyway, the man himself, Kholm the Third, has come out to meet you. He has welcomed you into his city, and the gates have been laid open for you. Now, does anybody have any questions or comments after last week's session?
I don't think so.
Because if I remember correctly, yes. So, once again, you guys are standing outside of the city gates, and Kholm the Third has opened his arms and welcomed you to follow him inside, which he does, making sure to check on the wounded from the battle, though he definitely seems to have taken note that some things were done. You can see that he's giving the entire party this look of approval and examination as he's making his way inside.
So, okay. So right now we are being led in, correct?
Well, he hasn't exactly he's not leading you. He's walked back in after thanking you for assisting at the gates, and he has welcomed
Right.
you into his tribe, essentially,
Okay.
into the area.
So
Yeah.
Sebastian is going to follow him while cleaning his blade of
Necromancer blood.
execution blood.
Yep. Well,
So, as you
I
guys
probably
move in,
shouldn't be a Triceratops for this.
I mean, who says you can't? Who
Well,
says you
you can
can't
do
be?
whatever the fuck you want. It would out of character.
You
As
know
long
what?
as you fit, I don't think there's a problem. I mean, they did
Yeah,
just
I'll
watch
go
you
back to being
touring
a
in the
normal
other one.
person just so I don't accidentally squish one of these guys. I've caused
Fair
enough
enough.
problem with guards recently.
So you
That's
polymorph
true.
back and return to your elf shape, correct? Are you human or are you elf? I'm fucking
Oh my
no.
God.
I'm being dumb.
Currently, I'm a human. Currently, I look like the elf
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
we
say
met at
that's
the second
why.
season.
I was gonna say that's why I'm confused because since season 2, you have strictly been like disguised as the one council member, but like
Yep.
it's been a little bit nuts. So I've had to describe you as an elf for a whole 2 seasons of this.
Yep. But I'm
So,
human.
yes. Anyway, so as you guys make your way in and the gates close shut behind you with the shouts and people coming in to perform medical examinations and some first aid to those who were not felled thanks to the party's efforts during the battle, you guys get a look at what is essentially the complete opposite that you would expect from a tribe. Since you've been here in Rookrot, you have seen many
Jesus.
wooden buildings. This is no, it's 100% true.
Sorry.
You've had wooden buildings decorated with generally like tribal decorations, things like bones, feathers, colorful leaves, more dyes, banners, etc. Things that mark them as a very I hate to say the word religious, traditionalist is that the word I'm looking for? Regardless, tribes that have been following traditions for a long time. You've seen buildings built up in trees, all made out of wood. But as you move into this area, you could mistake this place for a well and truly budding city. There are cobblestone paved streets after the dirt near the front gate. There are houses built with masonry and actual roof shingles. Nobody is particularly dressed in a tribal fashion. You're mostly seeing woven clothing and fabrics that are of like modern style. And
So they're wearing t-shirts. Got it.
they're not. You know what? Yeah, there's one guy who is the guy who has invented t-shirts and he hasn't been able to get him to catch on yet. And he's an orc. So he's trying to advertise. He's doing a sexy walk down the street.
Is
Hell
this gonna be another void salmon situation where somebody makes one comment and it leaves a lasting impact on the lore?
Oh, you mean astral sea bass? Is that what you're
Or
thinking of?
astral sea bass, whatever.
Anyway, so the Kholm, who has been, walking, if you're following with him, he turns back as he's making his way kind of towards the center of town, and he says, "What do you think of the place? My family has been doing good work here for generations to, bring us up to modern standards. Though we haven't forgot at least a little bit of tradition around here."
It's quite beautiful. It seems you've done well for yourselves.
I know that it's different from what the other tribes would expect us to do, but considering the state that the tribes were in when my family came down here, it's a huge amount of progress, an insane amount of progress. And he kind of like gestures to the walls and he gestures to the infrastructure. You actually see as he gestures to the walls that there are several ballistae and even trebuchets that are
Oh.
set up. Stuff that is of good make. Clearly this place is well defended. And he even makes a comment saying, that's why the winged beast doesn't come around here that often. Though it has tried, sometimes. We're at least able to pester it away, as it were.
Why were
Interesting.
the
Okay.
fucking who the Slumbering tribe so like invested in having us check these guys out? There does not seem to be anything weird.
Are you
here.
musing this aloud?
No, because that would be stupid of me.
Fair enough.
I don't want to be causing problems. I'm just thinking about that myself.
We
So,
don't want to be
fair.
causing drama among the tribes.
So you also take note that
God.
a little bit like Delta's Watch, there are quite a large number of refugees in this place. It looks like as far as this is the farthest that you can flee from the city over in this direction. But the mayor spends quite a long time walking with a set of guards and soldiers to what is clearly a central town hall. It's built up beautifully, but you can see people of all walks of life entering, exiting, and hanging around the town hall. And there are, of course, people providing relief and aid. To be entirely honest, compared to what you've seen, this appears to be the most supportive of the settlements that you've been in yet. He turns around and he opens his arms and says, I'm going to need to go in and perform a few duties, but if you'd like to come in and speak with me, please, I'm open anytime.
Who laughed?
That was Alex. He has laughed
I
several
don't know what you're talking
times.
about. Huh?
You were laughing about me describing this place as non-tribal. Don't even pretend.
Okay, like I no, we're not gonna talk about that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Regardless,
I'm just like what I'm thinking is not something that we should probably discuss on stream.
anyway, he gestures around and he says, "Feel free to partake of the services of our humble city. I'm just going to call it what it is, a city. And please, if you need to talk to me, I'm available. I've heard things about you and your group, and I will do whatever I can, especially after you've helped us at the gate." And with that, he is ushered and urged to move on. And so he is going to take his leave and move into the City Hall building, leaving you lot standing in the plaza just in front of the City Hall.
Okay. I guess. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, never mind. I'm being stupid. Duncan is
okay,
here, by the way.
so-
Gaming.
Is he?
Okay.
So what I want to do first is Sebastian might take a look around and see if he can locate a general store.
Of course. You would be able to
Sure,
take
oh
some
God,
time.
It's been a while since we've seen a store.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you take some time and you. Who is calling me? Stop it.
Bad streamer.
What? Nobody calls me during these streams. What the frig? It's my dad.
Your phone, dingus.
He just
Well,
tried to
honestly,
call
I'm-
me, and I literally
I'm going
texted
to
him,
go
"We're
mute
streaming.
my
We'll call
phone.
you back." And
Oh, so he
Oh my
just
God.
ignored you.
he just ignored me and called you.
Classic
Incredible.
dad moment.
Classic dad moment. All right, ringtone is off. Jesus. All right, sorry.
I'm sitting here criticizing you. Meanwhile, I just went and muted my phone just in case.
Well,
What?
so I
What
want
do
to
you
locate
want?
a general store because I would like to see. I
Okay,
would
so
like to maybe stock up on some stuff.
right, so you'd go ahead. Oop, I need to open my little diddly doos. But as you're working through the city, you are able to find a decent looking general store not too far away from the main plaza, and it just looks to be called Kholm's Mercantile.
Okay, I am going to walk in, obviously, and I am going to browse around. I'm going to be looking for healing stuff.
Healing stuff? Of what kind? Are you talking
Potions.
about potions?
Yes.
Okay.
Or other types of potions because things are getting dicey. So I want to make sure I've got my bases covered here.
Nothing here. I have a couple of jewelry and valuable things listed in my inventory, but I can't find anything about if they have any significant importance or what.
Well, so Sebastian, making your way into the general store, you can see that their supplies are definitely sparse. but he does have potions of healing available. Now, he's not an alchemy shop, so clearly he's having less.
I guess that's true.
He has less stock, but he does have a few potions of healing on the shelves. You do note that they seem to be marked up in price quite a bit, but these are desperate times.
Left all my potions of healing at home. Not that I can make many potions because there's a bagillion ingredients.
Then what I shall do to support a local business. I know I'm gonna look. Does he have what kind of healing potions? Just regular healing potions?
Yes, they are the basic variety of healing potion here in the general store.
Okay. So then what I'm gonna do is I will buy one regular healing potion from him for how much?
It will be 75 gold pieces. Like I said, a pretty
75 gold pieces
like
for
I
a
said,
single healing potion.
Yes, it's a very significant
Okay,
markup.
then unfortunately I will not be supporting a local business. That's too much for what is it? 2d8, I think.
I don't know. How much is it marked up? I missed it. I was looking.
It's marked up
It's
from
75
it's
gold
75 gold pieces.
And you just cut out. Sorry, say that again.
75 gold pieces.
I mean, compared to what we have, that's not that much. But
Still not spending 75 gold pieces on fucking a potion. Or a potion of like basically 75 gold pieces for 2d8.
God,
I think regular potions of healing are 2d8. I don't remember.
I have so many different ingredients. Good lord.
Got quite a few. And if you're
many
if you're asking about the
so
potion
little
of
to
healing,
make.
the basic potion of healing, I believe, is 2d4 plus 2.
I'm trying to think. What? Is there anything I would need to stock up on?
At your level, you would probably want to find a more specialized shop to sell you the more powerful stuff. Of course, general supplies are still available around these parts.
I don't imagine these guys are exactly in a position to be like uh taking valuables or anything like that, like purchasing stuff off of people.
I suppose it depends on the valuables. Are you looking to sell gemstones?
Or I have a dragon amulet with gem, gold nugget, jeweled cork, whatever the fuck that means, and an obsidian statuette in my jeweler and valuables, and I didn't see them anywhere in the items journal, so I don't know if they're like.
Likely just treasures that you picked up along the way.
But I don't imagine that these guys are going to be in a purchasing mood for, you know, stuff that isn't directly assisting them.
You're likely on the mark. In times of war, it's not likely you're going to find somebody who will be buying those kinds of things at somewhere like a general store.
Don't imagine they'll find much use of the paralysis poisons that I do have on me, considering pretty sure undead creatures can't be paralyzed.
I don't think that's true.
Or, well, they can't be poisoned because they're, corpses.
They're resistant to poison condition, but the poison that you're making is a paralytic poison, which deals paralysis and not poison. I know that it's strange, but that's how that works. It essentially works like an oil of paralysis.
To me, it would make sense if undead were immune to it, but I guess if they're not,
you can still lock up undead joints.
You're not if they don't have muscles.
Instant arthritis.
Like unless it's
potion of poison of arthritis.
Poison of bone cancer, where it just makes all the bones fuse together. Are undead immune to paralysis? Because I feel like I've seen that, but I might be stupid.
Well, if I go to say skeleton, condition immunities are only exhaustion and poison.
Undead are immune to death effects, disease, mind-affecting effects, charms, compulsions, moral effects, phantasms, and patterns. Paralysis, poison, sleep, stun, and any effect that requires a fortitude. Oh, this is about Pathfinder?
Probably.
Oh, it's about Pathfinder. God damn it. Why is it showing me Pathfinder? Okay.
Anyway, now that would be that would probably still be available to be used, or somebody might buy those kinds of things, especially if you were to sell them to, say, an alchemy shop. But speaking of which,
Well, yeah, I was thinking about in this particular instance, but apparently this is not information about 5e that is known, because I even typed D&D 5e after that, and it's still showing me the Pathfinder information.
if you go to any particular creature's bestiary, I went to the skeleton because you guys have been fighting skeletons, and they are not immune to paralysis.
Well, I guess that's good to know.
Lock up those
That was just an
bones.
assumption that I was making. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me that paralysis will work on a bunch of magically binded bones, but I guess what works works.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I've been completely thrown off for a second here. Okay, so Sebastian, do you have any intention of purchasing any actual adventuring supplies from the general store, or are you going to want to go and find a potion shop?
Well, worrying about how much the potions are going to cost, I might go look for an alchemy shop, because I think I don't think I need anything in particular right now as far as like adventuring supplies goes. I'm still pretty good stocked up on stuff.
Well, don't forget as well that you have an alchemist in your stead who could possibly create healing potions if you're in desperate supply of that.
I thought I could only do that at the workshop at the town.
No, you can do that anywhere where you have your alchemist supplies.
I thought you told me before that I could only do that in that like workshop.
No, if you go over to, and I'll bring this up and read from it in the potions and poisons part of your crafting. You need.
And I'm not gonna go like I know I've ragged on you about this a lot, and I don't mean to try and just like keep dragging you through the mud or anything, but it is kind of a problem. The fact that I literally have like several dozen different kinds of ingredients that all do different stuff. I don't I can't really make anything that
I know for a
isn't
fact that you can make
kind of
healing
garbage.
potions, and even if you can't make specifically healing
Bad
potions
ones right now.
even if you can't make specifically healing potions of the kind that you want, you can always buy the ingredients for it.
We haven't been anywhere that I can buy anything for a long time, and now I don't have money. So
Well, that's a different
'cause
problem I can't solve.
Do you need money?
Well, yeah, I kind of used my money saving people's lives.
Yes, we.
And
You
yes,
guys
and
did
yes,
spend a
and
lot of
yes, I
money.
need money to buy good. Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
I will give you money. Like, I'm asking if you need money to buy. Like,
I literally, I mean,
all you need
technically,
to
I
say
have.
is, can I
43
have some
gold.
coin?
I have 43 gold and 5 platinum on my and holding my inventory, but I'm pretty sure that's Doug's, and he's probably gonna want that back. So I can hand that back to Kunj. So yeah, that's 43 gold and 5 platinum. I'll just remove that. So I don't get confused.
Okay, 43 gold and 25
I mean,
25 good.
5 platinum.
Okay. So I have okay. There we go. Oh wait, no,
But
that's
I mean,
last
here,
one.
so like, okay, so healing. What all? I've discovered 5 ingredients
Okay.
total that do healing, and let's see. I have. Oh god, there's so many I have to look through. I don't have any bulb root, which I know is one of them. I have 3 onyx dust, which is medium. I got a couple things of slumbering tree sap, but I only have. That's the only major healing thing I have, so I can't make a major healing potion with it.
You would have to probably buy the other ingredient, which I believe you know the other one?
No idea. I do not. That is the only major healing thing I have. Like, this is just what I mean is there's so many that it's so much to look through
I mean, probably,
that
yes,
it
and
gets really confusing.
that is 100% my fault. If I'm going right here really quick, I see that you have Mulmoss listed as one of the things that you have unlocked.
Mole moss. I know that sounds familiar, but
You picked up some while you
here I
were
have that
traveling
list-
through the...
I have that listed as a minor ingredient.
That's not true. Like, if you look in the thing, it has major healing effect or major necrotic damage.
Right.
So you could make some major potions of healing right now.
Well, I don't think. Do I actually have Molmos on me?
I'm not sure. I would need to check your character sheet.
No. Okay, I
have,
have
like, a fuck
2
ton of those.
Molmos and 3 Slumbering Tree Sap. So I guess yes, technically I could make 2
Thanks,
major healing
Adobe.
potions.
And I'm pretty sure that you've also tested. Let me check. I have to look at this. So please forgive me. Where are you? Monster
'Cause it's just
cards.
like normally I like, like jotting stuff down and figuring stuff out like this, but it's just a lot.
The problem actually comes to the fact that you haven't been doing it consistently. And so both you and I are kind of lost at what things you have and haven't tested that you've harvested.
What do you mean I haven't been doing it consistently? I've tested like every single new thing that I've come across.
Not so. I have a list of
Yes,
things that you
so.
have tested and the things that you
Maybe
haven't.
like a couple skeleton bones I've picked up recently. I
Oh,
can't think of a
bones!
single thing that
Anyway, let's move on from the potion thing for now. So again, I'm gonna ask because Cameron, you specifically went out to buy some things. Do you want to go and look for a potion shop?
I already answered you.
Yay or nay?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I will try a potion shop, and
Okay.
if that, depending on how that goes. Well, you also said that now that he understands that he can make potions, do I want to go buy potions or does he want to make potions? I don't fucking know.
Does anybody have anything they'd like to do while they're in town? Like, what is everybody interested in doing?
think of anything because I don't really think I have anything that I need to buy.
I will continue. I guess I'll ask around town about Camilla to people and see if
Let's see where.
give a general description of her and see if anyone spotted her or recognized her.
Okay. Make me an investigation check.
Okay, I will just do a normal one because I am not using my glasses for this. So, investigation.
I'm not sure you can go around using your glasses to interrogate people unless you hold you break them and hold up the sharpened edge. Where is she?
That's what I was saying. I don't think I can use my glasses for this, so it's just gonna be a normal investigation, and I'm not gonna
Okay.
18.
As you're asking around, you clearly meet what must be a refugee noble. Is refugee a word? Probably. A noble refugee, probably from the main city. He seems to recognize the person that you're talking about, but he lets you know that they haven't been seen. She hasn't been seen in a long time. For quite some time, she stopped going to functions, and they didn't see her running from the rich district as they were leaving. They can't confirm if anybody else had, but they hadn't been seen socializing in quite some time.
Well, thank you for letting me know. I will have to sort that out on later, I guess.
He says that you're welcome, and he continues going on his day.
I will go back to my friends, I guess. I guess to the paladin.
Sebastian, as you're wandering the streets looking for things to do, things to buy, there is suddenly a Kunj who has appeared behind you like a sleep paralysis demon. It's terrifying.
I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for what looks like guards. I want to see what kind of force that this town has.
Of course. You can see that the town's guard is on patrol and all the time. The internal city streets are definitely patrolled less than the outer walls, for sure, based on what you can see. But you see several people in good metal plate armor walking around.
Plate.
Though, of course, those are only the highest ranking. The rest of them wear less gaudy armor, more like chain shirts and other things.
If their entire like guard had plate armor,
that would be a lot, but no, it's mostly the higher ranking officials that you see every once in a while. Though you do take note that quite a large number of them have actual paint on their armor. Basically this decoration that contains, well, a symbol. We'll say it's
Okay.
the symbol that you don't really recognize, but it appears to be two differently colored hands, one of them being yellow and the other one being purple, clasped in each other, like together, as if they're in unity as the
So
symbol.
like two hands, like you know that meme of the
Yes,
two
the meme.
muscles grabbing
Yes,
hold of
it's
each
the
other?
meme.
Yeah, that,
Yes,
like that.
it's basically
So
that
like
meme, but
one,
an
okay.
actual like insignia.
Or a handshake.
Basically,
Brain poison.
brain poison. We're all poisoned, all of us.
Yeah, we are really.
So from what I understand, then it looks like that their guard, or I what I will call, until I know like the proper term, what they want it to be used as, but I'll call it their military for now. So it looks like they're pretty well armed.
Okay.
Not like at the level of a capital city like Balbot, but we'll say a relatively wealthy military then. I think. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes.
As far as my observations are concerned. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so it looks like they can defend themselves. However, they didn't really do. It seems like they should probably put more people on the outer walls, because I kind of feel like they were lucky we showed up. Because it looks like they were doing some pretty devastating damage to the outer wall. So I'm a little weirded out by that.
They might have like the air superior thing because of that dragon, but on the ground though they are just. It's a whole
Maybe,
nother story.
maybe.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
after that's done, I'm going to ask around to see what is the most popular drinking spot. Place to kind of, center around right now.
Okay. They do have what appears to be a very popular tavern. You see some minor ones, of course, of varying different names in other parts as you're wandering the city streets, but there seems to be one especially busy one, the Two Hands Tavern.
Two Hands? Okay. I will go into the Two Hands Tavern and, find an empty seat while I await the rest of the party to arrive.
I guess I'll be with him since I'm already there. So.
Okay.
Okay. How about
Now I'm
everyone
thinking
else?
I should be doing some testing, but I don't want to bother everybody by just sitting here doing 30 rolls. So
Well, how about you do this? While everybody else is doing their things, give me a list on Discord of the items that you want to test from your inventory, and then
boy.
make me a separate roll for each and give me the result. I trust you not to be a butthole about it, so
Why would you go and do that?
So,
silly
Dom, I
thing
guess
to
last
trust me
thing
on.
then, what do they got here? Like, just
well, look, the tavern is actually kind of bustling. Though it's not bustling in the sense that people are in there drinking and having a good time. The tavern seems to be playing host to quite a lot of the people and acting more like a soup kitchen than a general tavern. You see people lined up at the countertop waiting to get servings of. You can't quite tell. It smells decent, but it definitely looks like slop. Maybe a hunter's stew or perhaps gruel. You're not sure. But it's packed in here, so finding a table to actually sit at
well, no, if
it's
it
tough.
looks like that this is the situation here, I might actually approach and ask if I can give a hand.
Oh. We'll say that you approach, and the barkeeper, who is a haughty human man, he says, "Yes, of course. If you would like to help us, we could certainly use a hand. We can't pay you much for your trouble, but
I
you'll
raise my hand. No need for payment.
at the very least
No.
feel free to fill your belly once you've done a little bit of helping. It would be the least that we could do."
Not until I've earned it, and I'm gonna help out.
Okay, so Sebastian has decided he's going to do some soup kitchen work.
Well, I guess I'll join in that endeavor since I got nothing else better to do.
Kunj,
Fair enough.
so Kunj, if you'd like to join, you could do it as well.
I did try to test the Henselitis dust, and it basically said "fuck off."
It reacted horribly, but in a way that you couldn't, the way that didn't make any sense to you. The dust clearly has an effect, but whatever it
I
is
still need to find
horrible.
somebody. The problem I keep running into is every time I run into somebody we get tested on, there's always something else that I wind up doing instead.
Well, how about we move on to the rest of our party? Ocularis, Jen, do you guys have anything that you would like to do?
I guess I'll go sit in the tavern and write in my book, glaring at people menacingly.
God, of course.
Interesting choice of something, but you find a seat in the tavern full of refugees, and you begin writing in your book and glaring. You get quite a few uneasy stares back, especially considering the way that you are dressed and look now. People are made very uncomfortable by your presence.
You're gonna get kicked out. God damn it.
Again.
This would surprise anyone. And what happens when I get kicked out? I walk out, walk around the building, walk in with a new face, sit down, and keep doing
Fair enough.
it.
Oh my
It's
god.
like it's like the worst merry-go-round.
He's gonna get books banned from that voice.
I'm gonna just get books banned from multiple kingdoms.
Well,
Why you're in the back? Huh? Are you him? Are you the guy?
I would like
No.
to
Reading in public has been outlawed.
outlawed.
Or writing in public.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when the book releases, that's when reading in public is banned.
So, Ocularis
it's
continuing to be
literally
a
a
menace to
book.
society.
It's
Yeah,
God.
literally a
that's
book
what I'm
that's
doing.
just heresy to read. Like every religion considers it heresy.
God. Anyway, move on. Dusty, do you have anything that you'd like to be doing?
He said there was only the general store in town.
No, the town is actually very, very well diverse in the types of shops and things that they have. Likely, if you were looking for something, this would be one of the better places in Rukrot to find it, I think.
Probably one of the only places in Rukrot.
Mm-hmm.
Delta's watch was similarly diverse, but they're not really in the best of
Sure,
shape.
I guess we because so much was going on there, we didn't really stop to look for like a store or anything in Delta's watch.
Things
And
are
they
very
could have had
chaotic.
some interesting stuff now that I realize it because, Faye.
That was what I was wondering, is if this place had a magic item store.
Okay. Shop for magical items. Let me take a look. Okay. Okay, yeah. We'll say that you spend a good long time sauntering through the city trying to find something that would satisfy your needs as a magical item store. And you don't find a storefront, less a small stand that is set up outside of what appears to be somebody's residence. Whether it's their own or somebody else's, you aren't quite sure. The shop is clearly humble, but stocked with what appear to be some interesting finds. A simple sign, a blackboard out front, actually, not a blackboard, like a signboard, sorry, out front, painted, just says, Magic Curios. It's very plain.
What
Alright,
does it
I
say?
have
Magical Curios.
Okay. I guess I'll wander up to the shop and see what he has.
Sure thing. You move up, and it appears to be run by a half-elf
10
woman.
things.
And she kind of regards you as you approach. She doesn't say anything to you because you're clearly browsing. You seem pretty invested in what you're looking at. A lot of what you're seeing are very common magical items. Small trinkets that do very easy things. I think now one thing, I don't remember which one of you has it, but I think it's you recognize it as a clock stone.
Oh, I have
Is on
that.
display. Yeah. So you definitely spy one of those sitting on her shelves. Is there any particular kind of magic item you're actively interested in, or just looking for anything that piques your curiosity?
Just looking for anything that piques my curiosity at the moment.
Okay.
Curiosity.
Die.
Sorry.
You pick through some of the more basic things, stuff that wouldn't really be helpful to you. And you do spy that in a small glass case that she has sitting, as close to her body as possible, honestly, is a gemstone. Ahead of it, you spy a tiny little piece of parchment that is advertising it as an ember gemstone.
Oh. Bet I could make some cool potions if I crushed it up.
An ember
So it
gemstone?
is.
Yes, that's just what it's listed as.
So it's like one of the setting stones for my tapping ring.
It very well could be. In fact, why don't you make me an Arcana check?
Although I tried texting it to you, Dom, but
Yeah.
what
Okay.
skill is it again?
It would be nature or sorry, yeah, it would be nature or medicine. Using your alchemist. Okay, Jen, you wouldn't exactly know the real like nitty-gritty of what these kinds of gemstones do, but usually these magic items are simple storing items for spells. Likely the application of this would allow you to cast, you would assume, a small fire-like spell, perhaps produce flame or firebolt. It would be difficult to know without asking or examining it much closer.
Okay. I guess I'll ask the lady about the stone.
Oh, caught your eye, did you? Well, this is simply an emberstone. If you clutch it real tight, you can use it to cast Firebolt. Nothing too fancy. I don't have a whole lot in stock as of right now, just the basic trinkets here and there. This one is my best piece, though.
Okay.
Best piece.
Yes, unfortunately. Well, you're not here.
I'm
I
not
forgot
there.
you're souping.
Yeah, he's souping.
You're souping.
I'm souping. Don't talk
He's
to
too
me. I'm
soupy.
Don't
souping.
fucking talk to me. I am souping.
He has to deal with the customers that I make feel uneasy.
Yep. And then I have to reassure him that he literally is just like that.
I'm mildly confused because I'm realizing I have in my proficiencies, I have alchemist supplies listed as ×2, and I'm trying to figure out
That's probably expertise.
why. Well, yes, but I'm trying to figure out why. 'Cause
It-
I don't have it actually. I don't have it marked as expertise, and I don't see anything that, any like feats or anything that are giving me expertise.
Hmm.
So I don't know why I have it marked as such.
I guess take a look around if you can, and feel free to just do the rolls, and I'll take it list by list, like up and down. Anyway, the woman lets you know, Jen. This little thing is going to run you 75 gold pieces if you're interested.
Mm, not really.
Oh,
Perhaps I shall, Duncan. Perhaps I shall.
'tis a shame. 'Tis a shame. Does anything else catch your eye? Anything at all?
Uh, not so far. It's not like you have a broom of flying laying around or something.
Well, I wish I had a broom of flying just lying around. I'd be able to maybe get myself out of this damn place.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be a good use for that.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. Well, I'm sorry to have disappointed you, but if you have any magical items, I might actually be interested in buying them off of you. Maybe someone else would be wanting to pick it up if you're not using it.
I can't think of anything right off that I have that
Ah,
I'm not
that's,
using.
that. Well, at the very least, if you know some other sap that's within distance that has anything to sell, please. I need to get some extra stock here. Got to be somebody in
Bro.
this. Anyway,
I'm about 90% sure all of my magic items that I've ever received currently have equipped. And I think one of them I've never fucking used, despite me like having ideas for how to use it. I've never used it.
Okay, so apparently I am just dumb. Tool expertise is just straight up a class feat of artificer, and I just never wrote it down. Because I'm smart.
well, thank you for the patronage anyway. And if you need
Yep.
anything else, feel free to come on by.
Oh my god.
I'll come back by if I need something else, and I'll wander on.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna take down these numbers really quick.
I hate my life.
21, 16, 29, 30. Oh my god.
6, 7.
23, 31.
Well, it sounded good until I'm like, wait a minute. I picked up Firebolt back when I grabbed my feet to extend range because I got to pick another attack cantrip. But it's still not as good as me just Eldritch blasting everything.
That's because Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast
because Eldritch
is,
Blast
you know.
is
Eldritch Blast is an
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast.
Well, it's just so customizable.
Is that all of them, Alex?
Yes, that
This
should
is
be
true.
10.
Okay, I'll take some time to go over it. But we'll say then that
Too bad this was 5e with that nat 1 there, even though it ended up being a 15. That just means it's failed.
Salira, where would you like to be doing all of your testing? Would you want it to be in the inn, maybe at in an
From the
alleyway?
sound of it. Or well, I guess that was a. So is this inn? I assume isn't the same thing as the Two Hands Tavern, whatever.
No, that is,
Or
yes.
well, that doesn't sound like a great place to be doing it if it's packed with people and
Your party
really
is at a
busy.
table, so you would at least be. Ocularis is specifically at a table, so you would likely be able to find a place to work. It might just be a bit noisy.
And there's no one else sitting at the table with me.
Well, I mean, I guess I could. I just feel like that kind of work would maybe bother people, especially that are trying to eat. Since I'm sitting there like cracking open skeleton bones and like dissolving them in various fluids and probably making it like smell really bad in the general vicinity.
So then, where would you prefer to do it?
And I guess what really like it'd be nice if there was like a town map or anything like that, but
Well, I'm sorry. I'm very bad at
well,
town maps.
I wasn't trying to like slight you. I didn't. I'm
Okay,
bad at
so
talking.
let me
I
get
just
kind
meant
of
like
started here.
well,
to
don't
know
be bad.
like what all buildings there actually are. I mean, I guess I could probably like rent a room and do it in there, assuming they have any rooms available if they've taken so many refugees
Sure.
in.
No, they're renting out rooms to adventurers, but they also have spaces that they have set up for the refugees in the main holding areas and likely out back near the stables. They've been kind of
Well, that would
converted.
probably be the best option here, just to not bother anybody else with the various
So,
side effects of fucking with pieces of rotten corpses.
by the way, really quick, you
And
have
here, wait, I have 3 pieces of rotting corpses, 2 flowers that are known for smelling like shit, and something called rot ichor. So, yeah.
okay, so going through, you should already have Amethyst down, but I'll give it to you again. It's
well.
medium illusion
Oh,
and
jeez.
both
Hold
strength and reduction.
on.
It's in your gemstones list on uh the roll 20.
it is. Oh, it is written down in there. What the hell? Why? God, I'm
That's okay.
dumb.
As for Topaz, which is the next one, you did succeed that one as
Say
well.
that one goes instead of the nat one I rolled? Sorry.
you know what? Actually, yeah, I'll say that I'll say that one's the first one. So the topaz is a. That's not supposed to be mine, by the way. That's supposed to be is. Yeah, that would be Excuse me.
Okay, well, what is it supposed to be?
So topaz is major boost and reduction to charisma.
Okay.
I will get that added right here.
Okay, so that'll be with Dandelion Head and the Moonstone.
I went ahead and updated that for you as well. Skeleton marrow is medium strength healing.
Jeez.
And medium strength necrotic. So I'll just make that known for you on your little deal.
I have to be typing like the fucking speed of sound here.
So that's why I'm updating the journal. You know what? I'll just update the journal for you on any one that you succeeded and let you know if you failed on anything in particular. So just go ahead and look in your materials in there. Anything that should be shown to you will now have the thing. So for the rest of you, after a long while, everybody gathers back in to the tavern because it seems to be the place that most of you are converging anyway. And the day starts to kind of wind down with you guys taking a little bit of a rest. We'll say that the time goes on to 6 o'clock p.m. That seems about fair.
It's almost like we finally have a small piece of like normalcy since we got here.
And Sebastian's first thought to do was to work at a soup kitchen, helping the people.
Wasn't my first thought, but
no soup for you.
Very close.
First thought was to scope out the military. Second thought was find a place to drink. Third thought was place to drink is in trouble, must help.
Are you not showing me the journal entries? Because
they should be
a lot to look through.
They should be in there.
Well, I mean, like making them pop up because I'm sorry, there's so much to scroll through here.
All right, you know what? I'll text them to you as I'm doing. Maybe.
Now I'm starting to regret doing this.
We should do this. You know what? I'll move on for it. I have the notes. We'll do this after the session.
Okay.
We'll just take some time to do it after the session. Sorry. So with everybody gathered at the table now, Sebastian, you have been able to earn some free food, and it does appear to have been a hunter stew. Definitely murky, and everything is kind of sloshy, but it is still relatively tasty. So everybody is able to get a free meal thanks to your contributions to the efforts. And you all find yourself sitting around the table. A few of you have some things that are of note. Jen, you have an odd feeling. It's like a kind of falling, and you're tracing that feeling to the power emanating from your ring, the one gifted to you by your patron.
Okay.
That sounds worrying.
As of right now, it doesn't appear to be doing anything negative to you, but you just feel a kind of strong pull from your ring, as if the ring is inviting you in a way.
Interesting. Do we know about this, or is it just him?
Well, it would be up to
just
him.
be something I'd notice.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I'd be like, hey, my ring's telling me something, guys. Let's wander through the kit.
Ring a phone. Beep, beep.
Just start pointing the ring in different directions until it like starts feeling stronger, and then just walking in that direction.
Well, I guess the first thing I probably would discuss once we're all suited down, unless Jin's gonna say something about it.
Hmm.
I can say
No,
the
I'll
room.
probably check it out later rather than
Okay.
in the middle of our meal or whatever this is.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll sit down. So I got her. Let me get. I found a lead for my one friend. God, her name's gonna be. Yeah, it's me. So,
Lamara.
Kamara. She, from what I can tell, is somewhere in the capital city.
That does not bode well.
No, it does not, but I at least have a place to start looking once we invade there. But
Well, we'll
that'll
all
be
have
it
to
for.
keep our eye out.
Yeah, that'll be for later. Did you guys find anything useful? Or anything interesting?
Well, this is when Sebastian will share as well with his findings with what the guard looks like here. Relatively speaking, I think we can be comfortable leaving this place if we can give a few suggestions on how to better protect it from ground assaults, because it seems like they really didn't do a very good job with defending themselves.
I mean, to be fair, if they're still in this state after all this has been going on for years now, uh, they can't be doing too bad for themselves.
No, they do seem to be doing fairly well, despite the
I
fact
think
that refugees are.
what I'm wondering if, in particular, this time, because that's the first time we've seen any of those necromancers actually out and about. I'm wondering if this was like the first time
Oh.
they sent one of them out to try like directly deal with something rather than just, airdropping skeletons.
Well, after revealing this information, Sebastian's not gonna. He's not feeling so good. He needs some time
Oh.
to think about something. He doesn't say anything, but he's kind of gonna retreat into himself a little bit. Kind of go quiet.
Uh,
I will stare a
that's
hole through you
worrying.
as I write in the book furiously.
Surprisingly, he doesn't react. Not at all.
Sebastian,
Not
are you
not
all
even
right?
like
Not talking isn't exactly your thing.
in in time. I need a moment.
Got it. Definitely still concerned, but all right. I guess I tactically haven't found anything out yet myself because there's too many things to find out all at once.
I'll tell you what. You could say that you've been testing ingredients all day and just kind of say, what's going on with your ingredients.
Well, I mean, I don't really know what's going on with my ingredients yet.
Well, I've gone ahead and updated fossilized marrow as well for you. I'll even show it for you.
Oh, sweet.
Ah, sweet.
Medium strength boost to history. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now we can do better at history checks.
I
Oh wait,
want to
no,
be good at history.
no, we
checks.
can't because I need to find something else that also makes us better at history checks before I can do anything with it.
Hey, those history checks might come in handy when we're trying to figure out what the
I
fuck
think-
Hinsolitis is.
Okay, I think also that is one of the other criticisms I would have about this system you've made is the fact that I can't use two of the same item to
I
make
can
a
maybe, you know
potion.
what? Maybe I can rectify that. If you're
'Cause I
feeling
was
like
just
that's
gonna say, 'cause,
oppressive, we
I
can
think
we can
that was
rectify
one
that.
of the I think that's one of the big things just because there's so many things that I currently can't do anything with because I haven't found anything else that actually does that same effect. Or either that or it's just like so rare that actually finding another one of it isn't really happening.
So we can
But,
for
anyway.
sure fix that up.
Oh goodness, here they all come.
Here they come.
I'll have to look through
Except
that
for the
later.
pollen. The pollen, by the way, you already know is
Ah.
for the blight.
Okay, well that that wasn't even like written down in my ingredients thing. Oh wait, that's all it does is it makes that specific blight thing
That's-
and nothing else?
That's correct.
Oh. Well. Okay. Doesn't even make like a poison?
No. You also already have rot ichor. So I will go ahead and show that to you again.
Not written down. Okay, so wait, are the flower petals also just for the?
No, the flower petals, which is just Rafflesia. They are major strength boost to nature in a potion and major strength necrotic damage in poison.
Okay, well I guess I'll delete the pollen row here.
Death in liquid form.
Death, liquid form.
Okay.
Booba da booba.
Well,
And you also
Yes, yeah.
already have dark grass, which I will show you again.
so I did half of those rolls were for literally nothing. Anyway,
Son
I
of a
think
bitch.
we're been lingering on this for too long.
Indeed.
Is there anything else that we need to like talk about? I don't think so.
Yeah, it is 6 p.m. Is there anything that you guys want to or need to discuss? Anywhere you guys want to go? Your meal has wound down, we'll say, over all of this discussion.
The mayor said he would speak with us tomorrow, right?
Anytime, he
I
said.
think that's. Oh, anytime. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think he just had something he needed.
So I need to show up at his house at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that was his own fault. He shouldn't have said anytime. Now that's what's gonna happen.
He's
Boy.
gonna wake up to himself standing over his bed.
Even better idea, I'm camping in his yard.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, you could do that for sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm sleeping in his yard now. I don't sleep in inns anyways, so why an alleyway when I can sleep in his yard?
I need you to make me an investigation check.
Hey guys.
Oh boy.
What's up?
What's up?
No.
Yeah, what's up?
There.
Hero.
This is what we're doing.
Oh.
Meme dump.
How does a 23 suit you?
What heresy is this?
I mean, it's what we're
I
it's
don't,
what
I don't
we're
know
doing.
why you're saying we. I think we all know who this is.
I'm still trying to find the meme. Hang on, is it? Oh, there we go. Yep.
Oh my god.
All right, sorry.
I mean, wonder why we don't get anything done.
Nobody gets anything done around here. It's impossible.
Oh goodness,
Being productive.
we are
Being
almost
living.
an hour and a half. We are almost halfway through this
The
session.
Jarl Balgruff meme. Yeah, he got it
And we
exactly
have-
right. He got it
and
Let's
exactly
go,
right.
Duncan!
Ball.
Duncan. Perfect. Perfect. So, that 23 for
Yeah,
investigation does mean that, yes. So, for everyone at the table, Ocularis, I'm assuming you aren't telling anybody this.
Nope.
Oh,
So, he
I'm just
stands
doing
up from
it.
the table,
God.
oh no!
and he shuts his book and walks out of the tavern into the evening air. Ocularis,
Unfortunately,
you-
I can't react to
now?
anything.
like a
what's going on.
stalker, you
This is
stake out
entirely normal. So
like a stalker.
I do this every night.
You stake out the town hall, and you spot the mayor leaving, and so you tail him. You
Oh,
tail
no.
him for a while, but you notice
Oh
something.
no.
He makes one stop before he makes his way all the way to his rather nice home. But the first stop that he makes is at a very plain, very modest shack in a part of the city closest to the coast. In fact,
God,
he
it's a
goes
murder
well.
basement.
He goes well
Did we
out
just
of his way.
accidentally uncover a conspiracy?
He
Oh,
go
no.
he
Oh my
goes
God.
well out of his way.
I hope so.
Oh my
That'd
gosh,
be really
you guys.
funny.
I'm sorry about that
Well, I
noise.
know what I'm doing tomorrow.
What the fuck was that?
What's
Who
that?
just
the
screamed
hell?
like Tom from Tom and Jerry?
Me,
Not me.
Yeah, that was.
because I was lifting my hand up and I slammed it into my desk.
It actually sounded like Tom, like a Tom and Jerry scream.
I don't know how it came across like that on your screen, because that was just a screech. It was a high-pitched screech is what that was.
Oh no, that sounded straight up like go! Like fucking. Sorry, I
I'm not
can't.
sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the microphone did to it, but that was not what came out of my mouth.
Our
So,
It was
Star
like
I
Tom
hate to
himself
even
was in
ask
the room.
this. Oculars, can you make me a perception check?
Oh no.
our
It's
Star
I
Tom-
rolled
Trek
low.
He's
23.
literally
indicated.
the same fucking result. Okay. So,
And he said he rolled low.
he did. He rolled an 8.
Cameron, you need to understand what
I
my
know.
passive
Oh.
perception is.
Why the fuck do you think my perception macro says best leave to Ocularis?
So, Ocularis, as you are tailing the mayor, you hear him speaking to somebody in the house. That he moves up to the house and the door cracks open just a tad. Not only do you hear a few things that are being spoken, but you can see the person he's talking to. The person is dressed in unassuming clothes, and it appears to be an orc. He speaks to the orc in a hushed tone, and he says, "Have you been faring well?" "Yes, I've been faring well. It's been tough, but I thank you for your continued support, friend." "Good. Sorry that you have to keep yourself hidden from everyone. It is in your best interest in these times. Hoping that someday you will be able to live here without fear for your life." "Thank you again. And be safe yourself too. Someone like you, with the kindness that you have, you might become a target. I know that all too well." There is a little bit of further general chatter, things that don't seem to really matter, and he finally decides to say goodbye. But you hear the following: "Have a good night, Parsoni. See you again soon. Do another checkup." "Indeed. Thank you, Kholm."
Parsoni?
Parsoni.
Okay, so he's definitely going into the book as the mayor's strange, orcish, love affair.
Bedfellow.
Oh my god.
I imagine this
Oh,
whole time I'm just
hell.
standing in a dark, shadowy corner writing all this down. I'm not hiding. I'm just staring at a window. No one noticed me.
Well, so the mayor decides that he's going to leave, and that is when you follow him to his home. It is a very nice home, but his yard is quite huge. The thing is, though, the yard isn't some kind of lavish hedge garden or anything that you would expect a leader to have. No, it is a garden that is brimming with vegetable plants, though you take note that the plants aren't currently bearing much fruit or much food. You aren't quite sure why. It should be around the season for at least some of them. Particularly even in this environment, it should be very well and good growing for most plants. A lot of them are missing. He walks straight into his home at this late part of the evening, and that is where you lose sight of him. Unless you wish to creep on his windows.
Please don't break into his house.
I'm going to walk right up to his welcome mat, lay down, and pop my bubble and go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And I made note that he's a
He
terrible
tried-
gardener. Just
He tries
I'm
to
asleep now.
open his door in the morning. It's like, what is it?
As
Getting...
as for
he
everyone
can't
else,
even reach it because he doesn't have permission to enter my hut. So for the next 8 hours, he can't use his front door.
Oh my fucking
Oh my
days.
god. Why? You're not like
Ugh.
violent or a danger. You're just an inconvenience. Like that's all you are.
yeah, this is true.
It's the
Well,
best
see,
kind of
I
evil.
am-
It's just
You're a-
inconvenience.
You're a menace to society.
I said
I
that
am
on
chaotic
purpose.
Violent
neutral
menace to
and living it.
This is how you really play chaotic neutral. Not as I get to murder whoever I want whenever I please, or
What was
steal
it,
whatever I want, or whatever.
Or what's that one thing where it's like chaotic lawful? I have a very strict code of ethics, but nobody
can
can figure out what
it
the
is.
fuck it is.
There's just
So, admittedly,
a page in the
on a
back of the
serious
book.
note, have to wonder if this town is just orc racist, or if there's something
Oh no,
else
that's
going on
definitely
with that
his
guy.
secret lover.
Oh yeah,
That is how you're
absolutely.
going to hear about it in the morning. Is that he met up with
As
in a
if
strange
nobody
shack with
knows
his
where
secret
you
lover.
are.
Oh, I'll meet
That's-
back up with him in the morning to tell him about it. After the governor waits for me to wake up so he can use his door.
Oh my
Good
God.
lord.
So,
And you're
as
not even
for
gonna like come out of the bubble. He's gonna see the bubble there. He can't get through. He's gonna go call someone about it. Like he's gonna go and yell at his neighbor to find a guard or something. And when the guard comes over, the bubble's gonna be gone, and they're gonna think he's crazy.
Yep. Or I just disappear, change my face, and meet up with you guys.
That's my point. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
so,
Oh,
as for everyone else's nighttime accommodations, who else? What do y'all want to do?
I will sleep wherever. I will sleep wherever is available to me. However, Sebastian will make it known that he would prefer to be alone for the night.
You can feel free to get your own room
oh
for
really?
the
I
evening.
felt like bunking with you.
Boga's
We do
gonna
that all
be
the
sad.
time.
Usually engaging in the back-to-back banter would be his forte, but right now not so much.
Boga, by the way, speaking of, he's taken immense note of the look on Sebastian's face. He knows something is up, and so he does not argue when Sebastian heads off to bunk by himself. Boga is instead going to pay for his own room, and he's going to
Well,
move
no,
up.
actually, no. Now that I rethink, Sebastian will stop, and he will invite Boga. There is much we need to discuss.
You're
my-
sure?
Oh god, that means it's a godly
Yes.
matter. That's even more concerning.
All right. I only hope that I can be of help to you as my teacher. And
Sebastian
so
will nod, and yeah, that's
he goes to join you.
okay.
So, you two could purchase a price. He is selling the rooms for 8 copper a night.
This is an outrage.
Oh goodness,
8
no!
whole
It's not
copper?
supposed. It's not supposed to be 8 copper. It's supposed to be 2 silver. My God,
Okay,
I'm looking at the wrong freaking list.
that's actually better for me because I don't have any copper.
Hey, my accommodations are cheap.
What time does
I'm-
everyone
I'm
want to
po-
meet up in the morning? By the
I'm
way, ahead
poor,
of time.
but I'm not that poor.
About the second time the mayor tries to get to his door handle.
Oh, god.
So,
I
like,
guess-
8 a.m.?
so I'm in- long
Sure.
resting-
Yeah. Sounds fine.
And I also do. How long does it take to brew a single potion? How many times would I be able to do that before I actually need to sleep?
I believe if I go back to the thing, Scooby Boo, it should also be in your like mechanic thing. I don't have a time here.
Oh.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
No, not fudge. D6.
I'm gonna give this a time of 1 hour per brew. Though you can make multiple of the same brew in one 1 hour session. I'll even mark this down.
Like using the same
If you're making
materials, or
if you're using
the same.
if you're making the same kind of potion at the exact same kind of level, then you can group it within the hour.
Okay, so let's see. This is 625. That is transformation, swiftness, and flight. Ugh.
Okay, Dom. I sent you something.
Okay. How about
Okay,
for the
so-
rest of you?
I'm at least
I think I'll get a room
Okay.
and probably ritual summon my familiar.
You're gonna ritual summon. Ooh, you're familiar.
Yeah, he's died like twice already.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's the pseudo dragon, right?
Yep.
we can always.
Okay.
He always comes back.
I guess I'm gonna be heading back to my. I guess I'll get my own room and take Ember with me to the room.
Okay. So I'm looking over at what you said, Cameron.
Is
For sure.
it a check to make a potion, or do I just do it? Because I'm not seeing anything about a check.
No, you don't have to make a check. It's just time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So how many hours of my long rest would you say, like, once we do go to sleep, would I be able to spend? Because I assume, I don't
6
know if there's
hours
a
of
specific
sleep,
amount
2 hours
time
of
you
work
need.
time. It was 6
Okay.
p.m. last time, so we'll say that when everybody separated, quote unquote, at 6 p.m., and you're gonna wake up at 8 a.m., you have until midnight if you want to really crank it. If you want to just really crank. 4 hours.
I mean, if I even have enough stuff to spend those 4 hours doing. Okay, let's see. Potion ingredients. Major. I only have 8 major ingredients apparently.
All right. So that's that taken care of. That's that taken care of. So we're dealing with Sebastian on a separate little note over here.
I noticed.
I guess I'll be playing a song about Bahamut, I guess, while in my room
Slumbering tree sap and okay.
practicing.
So we can make 2 out of that. Have anything else?
All right. Last call. Anything to be taken care of over the night? Any swapping of spells? Any additional things that need to be doing?
Like, give my ring to my familiar and go inside it and see if I can figure out what's going on with it.
Indeed. So, you give your ring to your pseudo dragon familiar, and you yourself enter into your ring. Inside of your ring, the heat is sweltering. What is normally a comfortable environment is completely engulfed in a heat as if you were standing next to an active, roaring bonfire. For now, your ring contains all of the items that you once had in it, sure, but laying there is something that you haven't seen in quite a long time. It's a long scroll of glowing parchment.
Okay, I guess I pick it up and read it.
What you find are the terms of your pact. What were once relatively and generally broad terms of your pact with your Afridi, you find that there are some changes, and there's a space for a signature. Though oddly, your patron doesn't seem to be any more around. Just the existence of this parchment.
Okay.
Now, the
Like a
parchment
change
itself,
in the terms of service, essentially.
the as you give it a good look over, the terms of your pact have really not changed much. However, the Afridi has left an addendum at the bottom that promises you a boon to your power. Indeed, he promises to grant you some additional benefits should you be willing to take on 2 other basically I hate to use the word tenets. What am I thinking of? Clauses. In fact, I should probably write this down on like a notepad so I can send this to you over the thing. So, the first clause is as such. Over here. The first clause is you must refrain from communicating with your own family starting now.
Must refrain from communicating family starting now.
Ooh.
Is that right?
That's strange. Why would your patron want you to stop talking to your family?
Well, it's not. Well, from the sound of it, it's not like that would break the pact. That's just.
It
I
is
guess it would appreciate if you didn't do that.
no, because an addendum to his pact would essentially mean that should he disobey it,
No,
the
you
pact.
said it was like for additional power for following these things, not just like.
Well, yes, what he is doing is he's offering an additional boon to add additional clauses to Jen's
Mhm.
pact.
So this is something he can refuse?
It is.
Well,
So that's condition number 1 is no more talking with the family, right?
Yes, failure to adhere to this will result in you losing your voice permanently.
Okay.
Okay. Here's clause 2. Oh, here we go. The pacted must refrain from communing with other genies of any kind.
Okay. So no seeking out other sources of power, basically, and no speaking with my family.
Indeed. So, here is what the genie is offering you. You're a freebie. He is offering you an additional well of power. And he is offering you one additional benefit. I'll say of your choosing. Basically what I'm telling you is your genie is offering you an additional warlock spell slot and an additional warlock spell of your choice.
Okay.
So here's the clauses. I'll post them in the chat.
I'm going to have to think on that one.
Oh, and we'll also say that includes one additional cantrip.
Okay.
also, Dominic, may I did send you one last thing. I am sorry if I don't mean to distract you for too long.
Okay, let's see here.
So here you are. What were you saying, Cameron?
I just sent you one last thing.
Okay.
So I just realized if Dominic is committing to adjusting the creation rules here, I may have just made poisons that aren't going to do a whole lot for us right now.
I mean, I don't see what the problem with having some of them on hand would be. Do
Well,
you know which ones you've made?
Major lifesteal poisons.
Okay,
Which do necrotic damage.
that's fair.
So I guess I'm making another assumption about resistances again, so I might just be being stupid. Okay. I don't have enough fucking consumables, inventory slots.
My lack of intelligence has failed me.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Well, see,
We all
if
saw this coming eventually.
if
Yeah.
Solera had been in the room, she could have racked her brain and given you another a +4 to that.
Well, it is what it is.
You just point at Sebastian. Just think better.
I mean, that's basically
Think better,
what it
she gets
is.
a migraine. Think better,
You
she
can
gets
do
a
that. I
I'm
could
doing
do
it!
inspiration.
I'm thinking! Ah!
migraine. It hurts. It hurts.
Sebastian, though, I want you to get a point of inspiration.
Man, what the fuck is going on in this?
Okay.
What is happening?
Who knows?
Yeah,
things
I don't.
are happening.
All I know, I'm just playing a Slumdog Bahamut, and that's all I'm doing in my room.
Stress. Stress is
I
happening.
know more about the mayor than the rest of you, and that's all that's going on.
We all have our dirty little secrets.
And I
know I
now know his.
I know I can only use one, but I'm up to 6.
Okay, and the Rafflesia is major strength. Chronic damage.
Just
And so-
complain about
With that in mind, Jen, unless you have an answer for this right now, it doesn't appear that there is a time limit here in the clause, but you get the feeling that you might want to answer soon. Regardless,
Yeah.
let me know if you want to take some time to think about that. Otherwise, I'm
I
thinking
think
about
I'm
moving
gonna
this to the
take some
morning.
time.
Okay.
Realize.
So, we now move forward to the morning. It is now the 26th of Nidal at 8 a.m. We open the morning on Ocularis. You emerge from your tiny hut, not to an angry face of the mayor. Nay, you find a small note laying on top. Well, actually, no. Technically speaking, it would have fluttered off of the hut and onto you when the spell dispersed. It is a small sheet of
Come
parchment.
see me in my office.
The parchment says, I have a feeling this was one of you. I'm not amused
Oh my god.
that much anyway. Feel free
That
to come
much.
speak
Although
with
he was
me.
slightly amused.
Kholm the Third.
Slightly amused.
And Ocularis, I will also give you a point of inspiration.
It's
Okay.
fucking around.
Take my
For
note,
multiple
put it in my
reasons.
pocket proudly, and on to the tavern.
And that's where you find the rest of your party. How is everybody else feeling after their night?
Not
Solera
great.
probably looks kind of exhausted, having gotten the bare minimum of sleep, but her bag is clinking a lot more than it was yesterday.
Fantastic.
I am feeling well rested and energized for today.
And Sebastian looks stressed. Very
wanna-
stressed.
When I walk up to the table with everyone, I'm chewing on a wall lizard, sit down and go, so the mayor has a secret orcish lover, and just open my book with no further explanation.
Somehow I doubt that, but I'm sure there's something to do with an orc.
There's a truth in there. I'm just choosing not to believe all of it.
He just slurps up the tail of the lizard with his big ass grin on his face. God.
You certainly look proud of yourself this morning.
It was a fun night. I put my note on the table, amused at it. I got an award.
Wow, you managed to do something without pissing someone off. I'd definitely say that's worth a hearty congratulations.
Well, I haven't had to start going into his house and look for secret entrances yet.
Please don't break into the mayor's house.
You're doing so good
It's
so far.
early in the day. Too early in the day to say I haven't ticked him off yet.
We can probably just walk in. He wanted to see us anyway.
I'm also going to point out Duncan is absolutely correct. A warlock sugar daddy and holy sugar daddy both need to speak to their children. An excellent, astute observation.
Oh my god, no, I just had the horrible fucking image pop into my brain of you know, like you break your oath or pact or whatever, and instead of, you know, an actual serious, you know, conversation, you wake up one night to your patron like crossing their arms like, Daddy's very angry, kitten.
Shut up!
Oh, God.
Shut your mouth! You shut.
No.
I'm gonna mute you.
No.
No, I'm not even gonna
No.
mute you. I'm gonna push you out of the call. You need to get the hell out of here for a second.
He's going to the timeout room.
Where's the timeout call?
Get
Do we
him.
even
Get
have a
him.
timeout
Put him in
call?
timeout. Put him in
Don't blame
timeout.
me.
Put him in
How
timeout.
do I put you to move to there, Shadow Realm? He's been put to the Shadow Realm for that one. Alright, somebody set a timer for 1 minute. He's back. Never mind. I forgot he could do that. I was gonna put you in the Shadow Realm for a minute.
Can't hold me down.
Okay.
Knock me down. But I'll get
My
up again.
words have caused discourse. Thank you, Duncan. Very cool.
Yeah, why am I getting punished? I'm not the one who brought up sugar daddy patrons in the first place, okay? I failed to see how this is my fault.
Okay, so
No worse than the stuff I do, so.
what do you guys want to
my
do now?
I sent you what I'm gonna be doing.
Indeed. And you got nothing.
Yeah, I figured. He's still gonna keep trying.
I guess I'm gonna go attack the mayor, I guess, and see what he wanted.
Well, I have this secret love shack that needs investigated.
I
No,
don't know. I really want to follow
No.
up.
Better yet,
now see. Oh, sorry.
Better yet, Kunj, I know right where the mayor lives. I'll take you there.
I've had the realization now. If Dominic does want to commit to changing the ingredients rules, I now could technically make a potion out of the chain dust without knowing what it does.
I'm gonna. No, you know what? I'll allow it.
It probably
A
wouldn't be
mystery
smart.
potion.
So
I think I'm going to try to at least use it first, to at least figure out what the poison effect does. I just need to find the right subject, somebody whose life isn't too valuable.
If I hear orcish bedfellow, I'm going to stab.
Oh,
Well, I don't know how important he is. He could be good blackmail material. We don't know yet.
Who just gives Archer the look of just a concerned look.
I slept on his doorstep. Of course I know where he lives. No big deal. I can take you right there.
Let's
God.
go. Okay, fine. Just take that. I guess fine. If anyone wants to come up, they can. But
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll
who's
take you
following
to the
this?
mayor's office.
I mean, I guess I feel like somebody else has to come along. Just to,
There
Someone
needs
else.
to be another adult.
we need.
yeah,
Do we
help
need?
me.
I was about to say, do we need to get Ocularis one of those the vests that some people put on their children with a leash? Put Ocularis on a leash.
He would just polymorph into something that could break it.
If no one else said anything, I would have begged for someone else to come. It's like, please, don't leave you alone with them.
It'd be funny to have a Triceratops on a leash.
So yeah, I
so
lied.
Sebastian will continue to follow them,
Okay.
just continuing while he walks to do what he is doing.
All right. That's fair.
So I'm not taking him to the mayor's house. I'm taking him to the secret love shack.
So
Oh,
everybody
God.
follows Ocularis to what is a ramshackle, very plainly made home.
I don't believe you that this is his house. I really don't
This is-
believe you.
Hey, he slept here. And I'm just gonna stand back and watch writing in my book.
I almost jokingly asked to make an insight check on Ocularis, but I feel like you don't need to.
The question is, who's gonna
Wait,
humor
wait.
him?
Lying.
See, the thing is, when Ocularis is being truthful, he's very matter of fact. Not.
I feel like I should do the responsible thing and ask a guard instead of this man.
Well, now
Oh,
you're
goodness.
here. Now you're here.
God.
Now
Yeah,
you're
we're
in
here
front of
now.
the house.
Yep. We're here now, so might as well. Okay, fine. I'll knock, I guess.
All right, Kunj, you make your way up to the door and you knock.
Oh, I can't wait to find out whose day we're ruining today.
And
You and me both.
you don't hear a response.
Well, they must not be home. I would guess we have to go look somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
So
Don't just listen. It's so weird when you just listen. It's like you're
Now,
like
unless-
conceding for you is just not.
Oh no, it just
Now,
makes the
unless,
plan so much worse because I'm getting to the bottom of this. It just means I have to come back tonight. New doorstep to sleep on.
Oh no.
Do I need to? Can I like put like a? Is there a magical equivalent of an air tag that I can put on Ocularis?
An air tag? Am I stupid? What's an air tag?
like an Apple
It's a
AirTag.
tracker.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
You could
you
give
know,
him an
the
item.
equivalent
in Scry.
the
I-
equivalent
well, I
to that is me.
I could summon an arcane eye and just have it follow him around.
all we have to do is look around where the chaos is coming from, and we'll find him.
Oh goodness.
So since no one answered,
Yeah.
I will begin to plan to come back tonight to
Okay.
further my
Now, can you tell us
shenanigans.
where the
Yeah.
mayor's actual
Yeah.
house? No, he's probably not even.
I'm
there.
just
Let's
gonna
go to
turn
the
and
town hall.
wander off in a general direction of the mayor's house now.
The mayor's house.
He's probably not even. Now that I think about it, he's probably not even there. He's probably at the town hall right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Ocularis
But we're
has
going to the mayor's
wandered
house.
Goodness gracious! Somebody with a higher strength score is gonna need to be the one to because I have a feeling if Solero tried to grab him, he would just keep walking.
Sebastian needs to hold
I-
Ocularis like
I-
hamburger.
I would, but I'm very flimsy.
So wait, is it really just up to me to carry him?
He is walking.
I'm
He's
just
walking.
walking off. I'm going to the mayor's house. That's where you guys said you needed to go. I'm going to the mayor's house.
I'm
I
gonna
have an
hold on.
eight.
Am I being asked to?
Oh no, I don't have a very good strength score, so I'm probably not going to win any kind of fight to turn him around, especially if he's
No,
determined.
that's okay. That's okay if you guys are like asking me to. I have to do something though.
I just have an 8 for a strength, man. I'm not gonna do shit to him.
I don't have any. I mean, I have some spells that
He's
could
not
stop
asking.
him,
He's
but
not
they would
asking
also
for
kill him.
numbers. He's asking for confirmation.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm asking
fine.
for confirmation. If I am
I mean,
I
you
am
can
being No,
I mean, you
I have
can
a
do whatever
reason
you
for
want.
asking.
Used as a
No,
bouncer
I
for
have a reason
Ocularis.
for asking. I have a reason for asking. Am I being asked actively to pick up Ocularis to walk to the town hall?
I mean, sure.
Do it, please. Just
Not
so
what I
we
was
get that.
initially thinking. But,
Once let's see. How does this go? Once a well-known ally, not entirely there
oh
at the
God,
moment.
yeah.
What
So
the
yeah,
Bug.
that's what's happening.
So you're gonna try to pick Ocularis? Do you resist?
Not at all.
So
No,
Sebastian,
I think you've misunderstood. No, I think you've misunderstood me, Dominic.
I don't.
Once
Oh,
a well-known
I know,
ally
I
is
know.
Bro,
Yes, I know
seems
what you're
no longer
referencing.
there.
I don't get it still. I
Yes.
know what you're referencing. I still don't get it.
I'm assuming he's saying that Sebastian didn't listen to a direct request.
He
know.
completely. It's like it fell on deaf ears.
Okay.
He's subconscious.
See, you could have just said that.
Yeah, that threw me
But
for
I
a loop.
wanted to make the joke. I wanted to make the fucking joke. Fuck you.
So
I
are
hate
you picking him up?
No.
Okay. So Ocularis continues on his merry way.
Yep, I'm
Alright,
just
here,
off to the mayor's
okay,
house.
you know what? Fuck it. Here, you know what? I know the general direction of the town hall right now, right? Like,
Yes.
we passed by it.
Yeah. You know what?
Well, you know where it is. You can find it.
Seeing that Sebastian is just completely being unhelpful, you're like, everything yourself, and is just going to walk up to Ocularis and try to just like turn him in the different direction towards the
Ocularis, do you
the
resist?
town hall.
Not at all. I am paying no attention to the world. I'm writing in my book.
So Ocularis has been turned around and is now being shepherded back to the town hall.
Okay.
And so the party doth arrive.
Well, there we go.
The
There
party
we go.
doth arrive at the town hall. We'll say that the time is now 10 o'clock a.m.
Oh
You guys
my
have been walking
God.
for 2 hours.
The paladin seems lost in the astral, and the bard has been rotated.
Get rotated. Okay. So, you guys are out front of the city hall. What do you like to do? Oh, and speaking of which, laying out front the city hall are two banners that kind of extend off of some balconies that bear the same insignia as the guards. A yellow and purple hand clasped together.
Okay.
Can I do a history check on those?
Absolutely.
Because I definitely would be familiar with them a little bit. Maybe.
I will give
Maybe,
you specifically, Kunj, advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have to ask this because I know you probably will anyway, but you will let me know if something changes, correct?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Kunj,
Just want to make sure.
I'd love to know what's going on.
the insignia of two hands clasped together. You note that this does indeed reference back to the original reason Kholm's tribe was even formed. You recall the fact that the tribes that used to live on this peninsula were at war constantly, but many generations ago, likely 2 generations ago, the tribes were brought together by one man named Kholm.
That's not a lot of generations ago, to be honest.
Enough to be several. You do know that this was likely well over 100 years ago, maybe even a century and a half ago. You do note that the Kholm family has been remarkably long-lived.
Goons will share that with the group as we're passing by that flag or that symbol.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Sorry, I don't know.
History. yeah.
I make notes about it. I'm definitely not writing weird fanfics about the governor.
Oh, God.
many years ago, the two warring tribes had their chiefs had an affair together against their wives and formed together into a single tribe.
I just realized the funniest part about that to me is because Kholm brought them together. Kholm was just sitting in the closet, as it were, to the two chiefs having an affair.
Oh, my God.
I'm making plans for what to do in the tavern this afternoon. I'm spreading rumors.
Oh no!
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, we're
So,
See, this is now converting from an inconvenience to actual malicious intent.
I mean,
we're gonna have
How
to solve
fast
you
did
this-
it take me to try and poison a town?
Yeah.
to
Should've
be
figured.
Sebastian
fair,
is
it's
going to
not
awaken
really...
from his stupor just to send
converting.
Ocularis out the city gates. He's gonna be like 5 seconds. His entire visage is gonna come back from like plain staring. He's gonna grab Ocularis, spin around like he's about to
By
throw
the
a shot
throat.
put, and just
Like the
throw
Sasuke
him
meme.
out the. He's gonna throw him out the fucking gates.
No,
Anyway.
not the Sasuke meme, the Naruto.
I'm gonna
meme
move
he
us
took
on.
by the throat.
The
Yeah.
group moves into the city hall, which is indeed bustling, quite like the city hall in Delta's Watch. People are running things back and forth, though you note that there are supplies that are set up in the city hall as well. You guys make note of several food-based supplies, some cloth, and etc. Stuff that is being carefully and clerically moved through the building, though it's definitely not quite as many supplies as it seems like they would hope. There aren't as many boxes as you would want to get a city of this size full of refugees, going on a good path. Likely, you guys assume supplies might be dwindling.
I mean, that's not really much of a surprise, I suppose. The longer this goes on, the more people who are getting pushed out of places that were used to be safe.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are looking specifically for the mayor, it would be relatively easy to find his office, though you have to push by quite a few busybodies. Though, quite frankly, you find it strange that nobody has stopped you. Strange indeed. You guys find a set of double doors to a large circular office that are actually ajar, and you can see Kholm III sitting behind a desk, behind a pile of paperwork. He takes note of you as
Oh,
you
no.
approach.
Okay, I want to say, looking at the paperwork, going to immediately turn, look at Oculars, and say, please behave.
I'll only say one word.
Please.
Behave, please.
I'll just look at you and I promise only one word.
I
Yes.
wars are dangerous. I don't
That
like
is it. I will use a
I-
single word.
I have also officially sent the image if Ocularis if Ocularis acts up. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Oh god.
So
There it is.
the
All
the
its
mayor
glory.
behind his papers remarks, "I'm assuming it's that one who was at the front of my door last night and forced me to go out my window."
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah, that sounds like our guy.
Also recently learned he likes to knock papers off desks, which is why I'm telling him to behave.
I'm going to look you dead in the eyes and just say Parsoni and go silent and back to writing my book.
The mayor's
Oh my
face
God.
scrunches, but it's not surprise. It's not contempt. It's not anger. It's disappointment. He seems genuinely saddened. And he shakes his head a little bit and he says, "Well, the cat's out of the bag early, I assume?"
He
A
hasn't
shame.
told us anything, I can assure you. He
Really?
doesn't like to tell us things.
I will just point at the book. If you want to know, it's in the book.
No, I think it would be better coming out of my mouth, but please, come in, make
Well-
yourselves comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. At least, I'd hope so.
Well, if
Right.
it's any comfort, what he's got in there, at least from what he's told us, we've got a pretty decent cover story for whatever's going on.
I don't
No,
even
I guess,
believe
uh,
there is a response for that. I just don't. I just don't.
I guess let's just move in and take
Yeah.
a seat.
Yeah, I'll take a seat as well.
goodness.
He invites you
I
all
just stand
yes,
in the corner.
and you guys... Ocular stands in the corner, and everybody comes in to take a seat around the large desk.
That's just him being him. That's normal.
Yeah, don't take it personally. He does it to literally everyone.
I weep for all of you, and myself as well. Plus my poor wife, who was the first one to discover the obstruction. Sent her into quite
Is
a
it
tizzy.
actually? Is it actually?
Wait, what?
Is what?
Am I
Go-
missing something here?
Go
Wait a
on.
minute. He said his wife was the first to. I fucking swear to God.
Discovered the obstruction?
The
I'm
obstruction.
His
assuming-
wife was the first one to try to open the door in the
The
morning.
front
Oh
door.
my God, my
Yeah,
brain had an
what the fuck
aneurysm
did
for
you
a
think
second.
he was talking
I
about?
thought he
Because-
meant Parsoni. I
Oh.
thought he meant Parsoni for a
Oh.
solid second, and I
Oh, okay.
thought that in the
He thought
ether
the
of
bard called it.
everything, that somehow Ocularis managed to be right.
Well, then he'd have to go back and rewrite it because we can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have the
We
truth be in
can't.
the book.
We can't have.
Hey, the book has
anything.
many truths.
There has none. Name one.
He
Well,
probably has
everything
our
we
names
done's
right.
in there. It's just flavored differently.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have our names. It's just a general occurrence.
Everyone's
wait.
just side character and
Well,
number.
I was gonna say, I swear, I think actually I've been, I believe at some point Solera was told that she was just like burnt in the book or something.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
But, God,
Back to
okay.
the.
Kholm, he addresses the lot of you and says, "So, you lot must be the. What did they call you? The Ridiculous Seven?
Mhm.
Wasn't my first choice, but yes.
I
Never
mean, it was
is.
a choice. Just had to work with something.
You're the lot who helped the situation in Balbot, correct? The war?
That would be us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Even in times
just-
like this. And you just what, sir?
I look up and this face cannot be remembered with anything to do with Ballbot. It would be a failure of
Yeah.
government sanctions. And just go back to writing with no explanation.
Please.
Call it
change
failure
your
of
normal
government
self for a-
sanctions
for a-
by association. Regardless,
Just-
yes, even in trying times like these, word has reached my ears, especially of the things that you've done so far while you're here. Your curiosity, your I would hate to say interactions.
Misadventures. Looking over at killers.
I have I have a few friends, not in many of the tribes anymore, but the Delmeyer for sure. They brought word of your acts to me, and I just want to say on behalf of all of Ballbot, even if not everybody is shouting it from the rooftops, thank you. Or not Ballbot, Rookrot. Sorry, I had a EM brain fart. On behalf of all of Rookrot, even if it's not being shouted from the rooftops, thank you for your efforts. Many years, nobody has put in even the slightest amount of effort to rectify our situation, besides, well, select few, some of which are no longer around.
Well, admittedly, not to put too much of a downer on all of it, but admittedly, all these efforts aren't going to mean a whole lot if we can't get to the source of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Source of the problem. Closed Circle Tribe in the city of Alalaxa. Yeah. It's a real stumper, isn't it? Walls high. What's up?
Okay, I'm not sure if this is a character thing, because I thought, nobody else knew that.
They don't.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure there that.
No, you're right. Your instinct to be surprised by the fact that he said that. That's surprising.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you were aware.
He casts a glance kind of at the floor and he nods. It's not something for public knowledge. In fact, it would cause an even larger rift than there already is between the groups here in Rukrot. But yes, I'm well aware of the perpetrators of this entire debacle. Much
I
like
suppose it's already been made evident that there is some distrust between those remaining, so
indeed.
I suppose if it were to become widespread that it was another of the tribes that perpetuated all this, that would only become worse.
Mine and the Delmeyer tribe are the only two that know.
Uh,
And
I'm
only
not
a
sure,
few select.
I'm not sure how to phrase this in a way that wouldn't just end up having to be asking it in character, but do we tell him about the slumbering tribe's request of us?
I would, but
Because I'm thinking yes, just
I think it would be
because
fair. Sure.
yeah, especially because if he already knew something
Well,
like
because
that,
remember, technically, we never promised the Delmeyer tribe that we were going to reveal any. Like, we could tell them the state of things, and we would tell them how they were
I
doing, but we
technically
weren't
don't
going to
think
tell
we.
them.
I also don't know if we were ever directly asked not to let it be known that we were
I
requested
don't
to.
remember them ever telling us not to say that they were asking.
That's true.
So
Yeah, so
yeah, we
I
never
feel
promised to be spies. Is the
a,
blunt end of
yeah.
my point.
A noticeable point in particular is before we came down here, well before we came down here, we had paid a visit to the slumbering tribe, and, well, they particularly asked us to, I don't remember exactly how they phrased it, but more or less keep an eye or find out what was going on down here,
See,
specifically your tribe.
it doesn't surprise me, but it still saddens me that they can't trust us after all of this time. And again, the slumbering tribe were never ones for trusting. After all, as I described, we've already spoken with and basically allied with the Delmeyers, but the slumbering tribe keeps themselves well and truly locked away, be it because of tradition or because of general hostility. I do not know. I fear that the slumbering tribe doesn't trust us because we've moved on from quite a lot of the traditions of old Rukrot. As you can see, plainly our city has moved on, and theirs is not one to make the same kind of progress, as it were. They are very, very closed off. Though apparently not quite as closed off as the aptly named closed circle. But that's another discussion for another time. You can feel free to tell them that we have no plans for anything but peace between us and them. Hope that they might one day take up that offer. Better of all of us.
Well, from the sound of it, they definitely don't sound like. Doesn't sound like hearing that how things are going around here, they would be launching any kind of attack. So
Ah,
I don't
that's
imagine
true.
there would be. It'd be quite a long walk for, admittedly, something I don't believe they would stand a incredible chance at.
He
You've
kind
got
of
quite the
leans.
amount of artillery at the on the wall up
Yeah.
there.
He leans forward a little bit, and I genuinely ask, how do the other tribes fare? Are they thriving? Are they in trouble? The Delmeyer tribe still only tells me so much. I fear that their chieftain is not giving me all of the information about how they're doing.
Well, at least from what I remember, I think the Delmeyer tribe is pretty much just in a similar state to them, right?
Uh,
I'm not forgetting that.
the Delmeyer tribe, from what you recall from your recent talks with them,
It's
they
been a
are
while.
they are subsisting as they always have, and they've been secreting refugees less these days than they were back at the very start down the river to Delta's Watch. I believe that the chieftain told you that
Oh,
they
right, yeah.
often have to flee from their homes and hide should the dragon pass them over, or excuse me,
Right.
the basically the undead dragon of a
Yeah.
kind passes them over.
Well,
I think you guys have had a
Delmeyer
look at it.
tribe.
Can't
I
remember.
don't know if we've gotten an
It's been a
actual.
long. Here's the thing. It's
I
been a
don't
long
think we
time.
have. I'm pretty sure we have never gotten a direct look at the creature. That's why we were looking for a place to ambush it.
I think.
So
I
there,
think,
there
not
are
from
the
up
things.
close.
I will say, I think we have done a lot of putzing about in Rukrot.
Fair.
Well,
But
I feel like a lot of it was exploring what was around the area because, like, when we got here, technically the only direction we had was the capital. And
Well, I
then
mean, I mean, I'm just saying. I think we've spent quite a few sessions where we didn't really get a whole lot done.
And that's to
mean,
be
fair.
expected, but
That's
yeah.
basically all I was really saying.
Regardless, so will you be telling
uh,
him about the state of the other
right.
tribes?
Well, I mean, we don't really know a whole lot of specific details, so I don't really see the harm in it.
It would mostly be
Uh,
personal observations, yeah. That's all he's really
yeah.
looking for, it seems.
The Delmire tribe are continuing to send people on their way down the river, attempting to get them to Delta's watch, and, well, from the sound of it, the slumbering tribe is about as closed off as they've ever been. We weren't exactly greeted with smiles and waves when we first came into their camp. Would that be the right word? I
Yes.
don't know.
Sort of, yes. You could just say stead, but regardless, he nods and he leans back a little bit and he looks to the group of you and he says, "So, I suppose I should ask, what are you all planning to do here? For just travelers, you all are determined. You're doing a lot for people you don't know, for reasons I can't even fathom. I'm not sure anyone else even cares about your reasons, but I want to know, what is your goal? What are you looking to
I like
achieve?"
making trouble.
Clearly.
Uh,
Clearly.
What is more
oh,
troublesome than taking down a strange, ethereal being that rattles chains and takes over people?
Now that
Bugbear,
takes
that's
his
one.
interest. He suddenly leans forward again, and his basically his entire face snaps over to you, Salir, after saying that. Excuse me?
Oh, well, what in particular am I being excused on?
Chains? Ethereal beings? You've
uh-oh.
you you've lost me.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Well, I'm not exactly the most familiar on this subject here, but I think our
I,
residential expert has his head in the clouds at the moment.
I'm
Uh,
gonna be
I'll
snapping my
call.
finger. I'm gonna snap my fingers towards Sebastian. Be like, nothing. You there?
Hin's he'll snap back to reality at the mention of Hinselitis. Uh, his words on the subject though are more or less, well, I don't know how really to describe them, but what he'll say is an eternal enemy, one that must be vanquished by any means. That is why I am here.
I see, but
well,
what does this have to do with the army of the undead and this flying creature that pesters us and attacks us?
Unsure exactly, but we know he's involved.
yes,
Yep.
there's
There.
certainly some form of correlation. That much we at least heard through the chief. Is there a specific word for a woman chief? Am I being stupid right now?
It would just be chieftain.
Chieftain. Of the Delmire tribe, at least indirectly, this Hinzelitis often, well, he has his tells, as it seems, and it sounds as though on the day that everything happened around here, there was a grand flash of purple light and the sound of rattling chains, something that always seems to be associated with him.
I see. You
He
know,
was,
when my guards described that the necromancer, the one that was controlling the Triceratops, I think, they mentioned that he had some kind of bond he would do with chains. That that
yes, it
I've heard other
definitely
stories as
seems he
well.
must have gotten that from. I'm not sure how much we should go into Bulbot's political business on the inner circle, but to put it broadly, most of their problems stemmed from somebody close to the king being taken over by this Hinselitis and causing problems, to put it lightly.
He places his head in his hands very thoughtfully,
And
and
I believe correct me if I don't want to say this in
Yeah.
character, just make sure I'm not being stupid. We did get confirmation, or or at least not like direct confirmation, but something along the lines that made it sound like Hinselitis was basically pretending to be like some aspect of nature to try and to get the closed circle tribe to basically do
Essentially,
his bidding.
essentially speaking, you both found in a cave in their old tribal hub a long description, and I can read it to you again. It's here.
I thought there was something we found out in the last session that
This indeed, I
oh, we
will
did.
get there. I will get there too. Basically, back in the
Oh wait,
cave,
I wrote down
it
what
chronicled, in both artistic representations and text, the tribe's modus operandi. There are several artistic depictions of plants and animals in flourish. Depictions of people destroying nature follow, as well as symbols of circles being broken near the top. The final depictions showcase twirling lines making their way
well,
towards everything and setting it
well,
back
here,
right.
Well, the reason I say that is because from what we interrogated from the necromancer, I didn't stupidly didn't write down the exact questions, but I have he was sent to attack the tribe by the cult to reclaim them in death. Axnoth does not know the name Hinselitis, does not know about the Null City, and then the cultists seem to believe that Hinselitis is Mother Nature.
That is correct, based on your
So,
interrogations from last time.
Right.
Yes.
So okay. So then, sorry, I just want to double check on that. As not to give them any sorts of excuse for what they've done, but it does appear as though Hinslitus has manipulated them into, well, their current course of action. From what we gathered from that necromancer, who had been involved in the attack, they believe him to be Mother Nature.
I
Though,
see.
from what I've seen, he's anything but.
That lines up with what I've been told, actually, believe it or not. I I'm not sure how really to process this.
Man,
This
we should have come here first.
this Hinselitis. This Hinselitis. Do you have any idea where this being resides? Where it is?
Gonna briefly look up at Sebastian.
I like how it's
See
Sebastian
if
because you know that you're not getting anything useful out of Ocularis.
I'll mention to him at these events.
Well, Sebastian's the main person I've heard talk. I honestly kind of keep forgetting that Ocularis also knows a fair bit because Ocularis just kind of talks about what he wants
Is he
to
a
talk
trusted?
about.
Is he a trusted source? No.
True, yeah. Like I don't know. Hinselitis
Sebastian-
lives in
Sebastian
the plane of
shakes his-
lust.
So Sebastian will shake his head for a moment and say, "Apologies, I'm having trouble focusing."
One thing I do know, my cat's from my dimension.
Yes,
Electron Amber.
that was something we discovered not too long ago.
Dimensions.
Honestly, quite perplexing.
Yes.
I'm not as
Please.
studied as I would like to be on these matters. I wish I could be of more help, but
At least
Or plane.
we presume it.
Seba-
Yes, we presume it is some other plane because,
Yeah.
well, to skip over the intricacies, he talked to the cat, and the cat fell out of a rift that appeared to have come from there. I'm not entirely following along with it myself, but I don't think it would have lied.
I suppose you and I are in the same boat then. We're fish out of water in this whole situation, right? That we don't really.
I mean, of course I've had that. I was directly involved with the incident with the man close to the king. Apologies for the vagueness. I just not sure how much I should say. But
No, that's fine. Secrets need to be kept.
I was certainly not part of this ragtag bunch from the start of all this. It sounds like many things had happened with him long before I came around.
If you must know, he was responsible for raising an army of stone soldiers to take over the country of Fiorin. We put a
Your
stop to that plan.
he was at fault for that as well. I've heard
I pull
only
out
rumors.
a book and
Oh, I dare not read that. I've only seen whispers and rumors of such a thing. Very little of that has passed through Balbot to here. It's a long distance to travel, but Stone Soldiers is not just it's not just some kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Offhand metaphor? Exactly. It's not a metaphor for something. You mean real
Nowhere
stone
near
soldiers.
No, they
real
were
stone
statues.
soldiers.
They were annoying.
And you say that this was recent. This really was. Albot,
Granted, a
Yorian,
month or two ago.
this is a powerful creature. It can cause problems in so many different areas with widespread effects to that degree.
Well, the stone monsters wasn't really his doing. He stole an artifact that did that. The war was more his fault. He stole a person to do that.
He resurrected the old King Notwind to do it for him.
I'd say
Yeah,
gods
he did
preserve
that one.
us, but as most of you probably know,
And-
they have been quiet for a long time.
And as you can
I
see
don't think
here,
they're so quiet anymore because he has a weird look. And just go back to my book.
and as you can see here,
Well,
here is
they've
an
been
army of the
doing- they-
undead.
And they've been doing a lot of preserving for the last few years, it sounds like. Sorry, that was insensitive.
Listen, I I wish that I could be of more help on this matter. I'm not magically inclined. I'm not special in any kind of way. In fact, I don't share a lot of the tribe members' powers, as it were. As you know, various druidic things and all that. It's all strange to me, but I do know of somebody who might be of help to you. And I only ask that you keep their identity secret and that you treat them with kindness, as they've been through a lot.
Does this have to do with the name our friend blurted out earlier?
Indeed. Arsoni. He is somebody who's been refuged here for a long time. I would say around 6 years. I've kept him under lock and key, kept him fed, kept him safe. But it might be time that he use his intelligence for more good
Wait a
than just
moment.
for me.
Does he live in a small, like more simple shack, sort of
Yes,
further out?
I'm assuming your friend over there has already told you, or perhaps even taken you there.
Yes, he walked
Oh,
us right over there.
First place we went to.
Knocked on his door, no answer. I had to turn him around myself to prevent him from, presumably, I'll just be honest, breaking into your house. I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, I should. May I ask for some confirmation that you will, at the very least, give him a fair shake if I give you some info here?
Well, I mean, I would like to say yes. I can't think of many people that I would not at least try to give a fair chance to.
It depends on what he's done.
You see,
I don't really care.
Sebastian, I need an insight check.
Great!
Actually, I'll allow everybody to make the insight check since you're all here.
I called
Okay.
dibs on the
Insight? I
first
forget.
roll. Let's go. 10, baby. Perfectly average.
23.
A lot of there's two 23s. Nice.
Okay,
Mm,
my
Not
insight is
average.
doo-doo, but
Okay.
meh.
Boonj, Ocularis, and Jen, you take note of the sudden recoil in his visage. He leans back a little bit, almost like he's retreating, as Sebastian says it depends on what they've done. He seems reluctant now.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, crap.
Uh,
Oh crap.
Sebastian.
Okay, so K- I technically didn't notice. So
And I can't say anything because I also didn't notice. Apparently by one fucking point.
I'm true to my word. I don't care. You can tell me, you cannot tell me.
I mean, is it really?
It's probably better to tell me, otherwise there's going to be stories at the tavern tomorrow.
He gives you a scowl.
Is there
Well,
a?
if there's truly something worth of hiding, then I'm sure the stories of a secret love affair would only be uh, rainbows and flowers in comparison.
The mayor gives and regards all of you with first trepidation, then
oh, that is
fear.
correct, Duncan. Sorry.
Doken
Both
literature.
of them
Duncan.
yeah. So
I would love to say something, but I didn't notice. So
he looks at all of you and he says, "All right, Arsoni, druid of the closed circle.
oh,
Mm.
well, you say he's been here for what was it, 6 years?
Came here 2 years after this all started.
He would be really valuable for information.
Well,
There's nothing interesting about him. I'm bored.
That normally means he disagrees with whatever the main group's doing.
yes,
So
yeah, and as at least in my personal opinion, as I said, although I don't think it excuses the actions that have been taken, they have very clearly been manipulated, and by someone, no less someone who can quite literally sink his hooks into people and take over their minds.
And nothing else. It seems like he's distanced himself from all that. So,
So Sebastian's not going to say anything. He's just going to listen for now because
Well,
technically Duncan is potentially correct.
I didn't see what Duncan said. Hold on.
what? So Kholm,
Potentially correct.
he leans back and says, "You already know of his location. So if
Is
you wish to
there
speak to him,
anything? Oh, sorry.
oh no, go, you go. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, is there anything in particular we should say to let him know that we're not marauders, whatever the term would be?
No more shadows."
Understood.
He nods.
I'm almost certain that this one had probably already heard that, but I guarantee you he wouldn't have told us.
If he was following me, it was likely my weekly visit that he overheard. It's that one is for emergencies or unexpected visits.
I see. Well, I suppose if there's nothing else you believe we need to discuss, going to talk to him would probably be our best bet at the moment.
Does anyone need anything else from me as of now?
My response would be he'll just sign. We will see.
I have one other request. Should you take the fight to the main city, allow me
Working
to
on it.
allow me
That is the plan.
allow me to be an ally in that fight. We we don't have as much as we'd like. Without the assistance of the other tribes too, we'd be a small force, but at least I
what?
would love to take up arms that we might end this.
We've found, well, I believe from the sound of it, they were already known to the tribes, but there are, of course, ways around the direct lines of sight in the streets. The Delmire tribe, I imagine, would take some convincing to also join in, given the straits they're already in. I believe if there's anybody it's truly going to take monumental effort to convince, it's likely going to be the slumbering tribe, since it sounds like they are quite intent to keep to themselves and appear to be so mistrusting of everyone else.
They would be quite angry with us if they knew we revealed about certain aspects of what they told us.
Right. Well, in any case, you know where to find me should things come to a head. All right?
Honestly, I would think that an initial assault would be best left with a small force of skilled warriors infiltrating through the sewers rather than a
True.
full on assault. Because if
True.
we can get us and maybe a couple of extra skilled hands, we might be able to
No.
get in and deal with the source. And then if the undead persist, a greater
Right.
army to destroy what's left.
And that
Oh,
and
oh,
I was gonna, and if we do manage to take out the dragon, then that'll be an easier way for us to quickly move and get to the source of that dragon and or the
I
Joculich.
agree.
And
I
yeah,
I truly think after all this time and like stewing on it, I personally think what we should do first is kill the dragon, ambush it, and destroy it, and then immediately after
well,
we go on our infiltration.
the only problem with that I would see is we don't know how quickly obviously if this is an undead creature that was presumably raised by these necromancers, and if it is the dreaded um option of being a out and out lich dragon, uh we don't know how quickly it could be back.
So I put some thought into that too. I would much rather ambush it out here and infiltrate it with the potential of it not being revived in time than try to infiltrate without ambushing it and having to deal with it while having to deal with what's inside there at the same
Well, I
time.
mean, I understand that it's just that technically the trade-off there is if we fight it and use up a bunch of resources and then run off over there and it does get revived in time, then we have to deal with it and everything else, and we're lower on
Well, we
resources.
could try to
But
research then.
that is kind of just
We
a
we assume that it's could be a lich dragon or a rather large undead creature. If it's connected to a phylactery, we could try to. You know what? I will ask.
Oh.
Is there a library in town with access to historical tomes or
Indeed.
perhaps
Though,
or anything,
bestiaries
or
on
yeah,
monsters?
yeah,
I
or
suppose
anything
we
that
do
can
have
help us with the lich dragon.
a name now. There may be would
yes,
make it easier to
we do have a
hunt anything down
library.
if there is anything.
It won't reach as far back as the other tribes' information. Uh, as we were a tribe created mostly through the unification of two others that were at war, our historical documents come mostly from the outside. It's like the inner city. If you were looking for the best bet at the deepest of knowledge, I would check in Alalaksa, perhaps sneaking into one of their large libraries, or perhaps even the close circle has a collection themselves, hidden. Excuse me, hidden and stashed away somewhere. If there's
Well,
general information, though, we will
I
have it, likely.
if we need to get in the city, I'm really good at sneaking, and I'm really familiar with the city. It would not take me long to get through it.
Blessed boon you have, then. Back to
Though,
anyway.
come to think of it, there is one other thing that I mean, I don't know how likely it is that you would be to know anything of it, but the the sewers and such under Alalakska, God, I'm
Alalaksa.
Alaska. That God, Alaska. Uh, um, those were frequently used as more or less secret tunnels to escape and infiltrate the city after the fall, correct?
I have not done any myself. I've heard whispers that the Delmeyer tribe might, but
Right.
no other confirmation.
Hmm. Then, well, then you likely won't know anything about it, but I suppose there's no harm in asking. When we did a bit of recon down there, do you know anything about a strangely, sharp drop off among the tunnels? About anything that might be deep below the city?
Strange drop off, you say? Well, let me rack my.
Not even the higher ups of the closed circle may know something, but the necromancer knew nothing of the sort.
If if I had to make a guess, this might just be the ramblings of my old man. Uh, I heard tell that there might be some dubious things going on underneath the city. I heard lots of different rumors, of course, but my father seemed convinced that there was possibly trafficking. But in all of his time, I don't think that he ever found any hard evidence. Perhaps it's related to that, if the rumors are true.
There must be something down there because nobody digs a hole that deep for no reason.
Suppose that's true.
Especially if they plan on covering its wall, because I believe it was like, you know, bricked up and like, what's the word? Not paved, but like it was set the same as the rest of the tunnels were. Just it went really far down, right?
Yes.
That was certainly built intentionally and not some burrow or whatnot from something else. And there'd be a lot of effort to go through for, well, I suppose nothing in the end.
Indeed. I wish I could be more help on that front. I suppose the best way to go would be to go down there yourselves. If you find any information, though, I wouldn't be averse to hearing about it. After all, like I said, my father was very, very intent on finding out what that was. Suppose it put some worries in my mind to ease. Not like trafficking would be a big problem in these days around here, would it?
I suppose not.
Anyway, I suppose I'll leave you to it then. And again, I'm at your disposal if you need me for anything. Try to stay out of trouble, at least.
We'll try to keep that one out
With
of
that,
trouble.
Lars, you
Perhaps.
listening?
Huh? What?
Well, we haven't been arrested thus far, though we did come close.
They can try. They haven't
Well-
caught me yet.
Oh, gods. Well, I refuse to help that one, at least.
Fair.
Probably a good idea.
So,
Well, you are certainly a busy man, and I
Yep.
believe we've taken up enough of your time.
please, it was a
So
pleasure.
Yep.
Most of it was a pleasure.
I suppose we ought to go talk to. I already forgot his name. I know I wrote it down. Where'd I put it?
I also.
It'd be nice if my
Parsoni?
shit didn't take. Yeah, it
Parsoni.
would be nice if my shit didn't take 5 years to load.
So, is everyone in
Yeah.
agreement that you guys would like to go and talk to Parsoni?
I think that's the best course of action.
Okay.
Sure.
So,
Perhaps someone may need to hold Sebastian's sword for him.
Probably.
You will not remove it from my hands.
So, the time is now noon. The sun hangs high over the sky, and you lot arrive in front of the plain house once again. What do you do?
Oh, fuck.
We're at the house.
Yes.
So
Shadows. In shadows. Oh God.
no more
I'm
shadows.
so dumb.
Nickety knock
No.
at the door.
I don't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that.
Jen, you walk up and you
Oh my God. I'm
knock
so
at the
dumb.
door.
I hate myself right now.
There is no response.
Then I will say no more shadows.
Was that?
Sebastian, as you say those words, the door opens slowly,
Oh.
and you see the
Okay, I guess I was
visage.
overthinking it.
You see the visage of an orc. He's of decent
no.
age. I've said that multiple times. He's an older orc, though not quite in his elder years. And he's dressed plainly as he was last time, as our bard sure knows. He has a long beard that is tied in a very neat knot, and he says, "Oh, you're not Kholm, are you? Well, I suppose that's obvious. Come on
No,
in."
but
No.
well, thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I-
Thanks.
I did figure there would be some explaining in order first, but
If he gave you the phrase, he must trust you. And with my trust in him, I must trust you too. So please, come in. And he invites all of you
Not
into
going-
the abode.
not going to tell him that technically we've got somebody with us who would have been perfectly happy to beat it out of him.
So he shuts the door and locks it behind you, obviously for safety. And he shuffles into the room, and he kind of glances at the lot of you nervously. What can this old orc do for you?
Well, I suppose that's the question. We were informed of your former allegiances,
Ah, yes.
and, well, quite frankly, I suppose we are hoping to get any information we can on, well, what they're doing. If anything that you would know. It sounded as though you had been with them for 2 years after it all started.
Yes, that's true. I've been in there since I was a child, obviously, with the tribe. But yes, I spent 2 years before making my escape away from the what I would call the horrors of what they've become. You're looking for just information then. I can tell you what I know. I've told very little, I guess, but I suppose not much of my information needed as of yet. I suppose you're looking for advantages you can gain against my tribe.
Advantages or just knowing at all what they've got going on behind those city walls. They've as much as we've talked to the various tribes and done our own investigating, there's still quite a bit that we don't really know anything about.
I
Such
see.
as, well, I suppose the most important one is what that thing they've got flying around the whole country even is. We've
Oxnoth.
tossed out that it's likely a dragon of some kind, but
He nods
well,
and he repeats himself. Oxnoth.
yes. So we've heard.
Yes. He is, well, was dragon. I think now he is much more. Well, I suppose I'll start with how that happened. Years before what I will call the incident city, my tribe had been digging. Oddly, by order of the first druid, been digging bones. I've assumed that these digs were in service of digging up this creature, these skeletal excavations. They were for this creature. It was always under some other pretense, looking for ancestors or looking for evidence of transgression against nature, specific spots, but I think it to be lies now. But yes, once all of the pieces were dug up, that's how it came to be. It took many years. Many years. And I hate to say that I was part of one of the teams at one point. They dug up a very large bone. Alan. So, anyway, that's not important, I suppose.
I think. Well, I guess not to break character here, but I suppose would Solera as a character even know to insinuate that he may be specifically a Lich Dragon, or
Well, you don't
because
really revive a
a
dragon
Lich of. skeleton I
for
mean, yeah,
any
but
other reason. So I would
I mean
say yes.
the main thing here is I just don't know how avail because yeah,
There
well,
are
I'm
there
a
are
bad person. I
legends.
gotta
There
know
are
more about.
general legends. Yes, and the only reason that you would dig up the bones of an ancient dragon would be for something like that. Though it doesn't quite line up with how lich dragons are generally. It's a bit different,
But
at least in legend. Anyway.
yeah, but yeah, then the important question is a dragon. He is a lich now, I presume.
I don't know. I know not the state of his affliction. I only know what I saw, what I helped partake in. Altar. I saw plans for. Assuming it's how they brought him back. I know not. I didn't construct the altar, merely gave them the bones for the resurrection, but
I suppose that confirms the directions of our thought, though it is a shame that we cannot get confirmation that he would have something of a phylactery.
I'm not an expert, but I would assume it's bound to that altar. It was far too important in the first druid's plans for it to just be nothing or spiritual,
Kuhn's
as
just
he
gonna bring up
describes.
Kuhn's just gonna bring up a map of the city because he has one in his inventory,
Sure.
and he's gonna ask him where would you say this thing is?
He points directly center in the big, large building, nestled up top,
Okay.
probably within that thing's lair. It was always a little bit higher than I was able to move up in the building. Perhaps it's even protected by the first druid himself.
Of course.
Mm,
Suppose they wouldn't keep it somewhere easily accessible. That
Oh,
wouldn't quite. That wouldn't make it serve much of a purpose.
see, what else can I tell you? Well, I guess I could say that my tribe has always been on the brink of something like this. Didn't always used to be this way, though. You see, my people have long believed that the progress of humanity has destroyed the balance of nature. They would always take action where they could to overpower that progress and blame old settlements for nature, regrowing plants around destroyed buildings, like that. But it was never enough, especially for the first druid my time. You know, when a friend of mine spoke out against the first druid, when all of this began, things didn't end well for him.
Well, it certainly doesn't sound like. Well, I wouldn't imagine a man, or well, did he? My bad.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, he did
Right,
say
yeah.
he.
I just wanted to make sure. I wouldn't imagine a man who'd be setting out for such excavations would have the most lenient of policies for those who questioned him.
But that's the thing. Our tribe isn't. I wouldn't say our tribe is stupid. Many of our people have just been blind to the. And they've been following what they believe to be correct. I was probably not quite as quick on the draw as I should have been. But even so, my friend, he challenged the first druid, and normally there's supposed to be combats, but it didn't go right. Wasn't right. Friend was brutally killed. While that's not unheard of within our tribe, something just I believe the fight to have been rigged. That's not important. Not important at all. All I know is that my who I once looked up to as my elder, the first druid, he has been poisoning my people. At this point, it's too far gone. I did things that were too far gone.
Allow me to ask, was he always as he has become?
He
Always
was
this, I suppose, for lack of a better term, tyrannical?
he was always of a stern hand, a firm believer in our tradition and our cause. At After years and years, many of us had given up on the idea of stopping progress, but he was firm that we could close the circle, as it was. But not until he began hearing the voice of Mother Nature herself
Yes.
demanding that drastic measures be taken, that the dead be raised to fight for us, to fight for nature again. That
And
our
was it this Mother Nature that he was being spoken to by the necromancer who was just outside yesterday?
oh
He
no.
had a power. He latched these large purple chains to another.
Yes, this was a power that was bestowed only upon the most trusted, but I doubt they even knew what they were being given. I believe that this mother nature that he's praying to is they take something from you in exchange for these powers.
Well, I don't know if you still fully believe that this voice is such, but it is my and I believe all of our personal opinions here that this is no Mother Nature whatsoever.
I've
I do
come to that
believe
as well,
the
but go
one
on.
the one who is more than likely in total control of your first druid is Hinzelitis. He's taken control of others before, completely and utterly, had them do things that they never would have done otherwise. Even if you're even if he was always stern and a firm believer in an admittedly controversial goal, it's in all likelihood that these this resurrection was either heavily manipulated by or not at all of his own volition.
He heaves a deep sigh and he slinks back to a part of the room. He goes quiet for a good time. He comes back and he says, "All of this, you're planning to stop this madness, right?
That's our hope.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I gather, you look and seek to destroy this entity."
Well, I can't say it was a particular goal I set out on, but it seems as though if somebody doesn't, things like this are never going to stop happening. It's only been, I mean, yeah, goodness. It seems like this may have been where he'd gotten his start, but as of recent, as far as I can tell, his influence has been branching out. The wars in Balbot, those were essentially entirely his doing.
Yes, I can imagine so if he can manipulate and grant powers like this. But I have a secret. One that I know. It's the one thing that I've learned prowling, essentially spying on my own first druid. And you all promise to end this madness. I will share with you this secret. Not before this is over. I need not have you rushing off to cull this at the source somehow. I need this stopped here. I need that thing destroyed. I need my people's chains broken. That seems appropriate to say.
Quite
Well,
literally.
you could call it chain breakers.
Oh goodness.
If you can stop
But
this, I will share with you this critical piece of information.
I do not know if his lightus has been brought onto this plane or if he is simply working through gaps that he can reach through. As I have yet to just actually see for myself. I've only witnessed his influence. But
That is where my knowledge lies.
we,
I have something that will benefit your search for it greatly. But you
well, based on
must.
our experiences so far, I'm sure that we will be able to break his influence even if we can't reach him directly yet.
And
Though I'm not sure that it will occur without a mild, to put it more than lightly, a mild I'm sorry, my brain is farting. I can't think of the
yeah,
word for to
you're
put this. We're gonna have to beat the shit out of the first druid.
kill him if you
I don't
must.
I don't think there's any way around it with that.
Kill him if you must. Something I've honestly hoped I could do. Sad as it is. But if you might indulge an old man who's committed some horrible acts, one final thing.
Of course.
Anything.
I don't have concrete, but there is a talisman, one that my friend used to wear. I believe the first druid took it from his corpse after he was vanquished. To bring that back to me, be most grateful. I don't know if it would right any wrongs. I don't know if it would do anything good. But if I could just see it again, I could have some closure.
Sorry, one moment.
Fair enough. I hear note taking. So sounds about right.
Well, I don't know about the rest of my group, but I can personally promise I can do that.
Thank you. The druid you're looking for, by the way, name is Mino. Mino Stron. And he is very powerful. I don't know what ungodly things this entity you talk about, has granted him. He was powerful before, so proceed with caution.
I mean, if you have a visual memory of him, I can know what he looks like.
Full memory.
I have I have tricks of getting to people's minds and
You seek to
seeing
delve my
them
mind. Is that correct?
just to see what this man looks like.
He stops for a moment and he shakes his head. No.
Okay,
I can
respect.
describe him to you, but I will not be having you in my head for multiple.
I will respect your decision, and I will just draw a description of him.
Well, you need not look for anything other than his garb. He always wears a long, I would almost call it a headdress of thorns. They're
Kunj went
adorned
a
with
little.
the flowers of our people, the Raffalacia. They grow heavily around our place of practice, our home that we no longer live.
Kunj
You
will do
would
his
not
best to draw that.
you would not miss him. No one else is allowed to wear a headdress of that magnitude.
Um, well, when this is all over, I don't know if it's of any comfort, but your home is in decent condition.
You mean
Appears to.
our old tribal grounds? Been there?
Yes, we had gone looking for, well, your tribe, and, well,
Let's see.
that was more or less how we discovered that it appeared it was the closed circle who had anything to do with the problems going on. All we had heard beforehand was that they hadn't been seen in quite some time. We had paid a visit to uh, the village down south between
Ah,
Dromer and Guliak.
the Blight one.
I don't know if it actually had a name because it's just Bladed Village on the map.
Oh, they were an unnamed village. They are.
Mm.
They were in need of our help for many years. I was part of that help. Dude, I don't imagine
Well,
they fare well without us.
uh, they'd been they'd been carrying on, so to speak. They
Let's see.
weren't all gone. Things weren't in great conditions, but I believe we had managed to alleviate the problem around there at its source, though admittedly in a way not as neatly as I would have liked. But it is done. And now it just remains a matter of curing the blight that is there.
Alright, sorry and apologies. I'm sorry, Cameron, I know I missed what you had.
Bad streamer.
Bad streamer. No.
Bad streamer, bad DM, not paying attention.
No, horrible. Why would he do?
So, he spends a few more moments looking the rest of you over and says, if there's any more information I can offer, please. You'd feel free to take it from.
I hate to keep asking this because I'm sure like I'm going to start sounding like a broken record to my friends here very soon, but uh there was a great hole beneath the within the sewers of the city. Uh oh goodness. What was Kholm said that his father believed that there was something about trafficking going on beneath there, but
It's
though
news to me.
I was going to say the necromancer outside had no idea about it either, but
Yes, we
until
don't
we
use
actually
the
find out
sewers.
what's down there,
Oh,
it's worth asking.
I never lived in the
Um,
city up until recently, so yes, I can't help you with it. I'm sorry.
I suppose then at the very least that
Oh, your
there's
friend has
probably
something to
not.
say.
Oh,
I was gonna say, not thinking about it. Would Kunj know anything about any of that?
Not.
Okay, fair.
well, last people I can think to ask about that are the Delmire tribe, since it seems like they're the ones who primarily used those sewers. But if they don't know anything, I can't imagine there's anything down there that's worse than what's going on up here, but the thought frightens me, admittedly.
So,
Not too often you find deep reaching holes in the sewers of major cities.
not. And again, I don't.
Well,
Anyway.
it's good. Good thing you have someone who knows how to explore that place.
And so, what more do you guys want? I know that we should probably be wrapping up quickly here. So, any
Yeah.
final?
So, well, mm,
Oh god.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Sebastian's been strangely quiet.
Yes. He's been absorbing everything that the man has said and has questions of his own, which will determine
Uh-oh.
future
Oh god.
actions. It's my oath of vengeance. He admitted to being, well, essentially committing grave sins. He admitted.
He did.
He even claimed that his entire tribe's purpose was to destroy,
Mind you,
basically destroy,
not destroy, but to halt the process of humanity's progress.
which I'm going to assume as well. He said by any means necessary, which includes killing
No.
or
He described when he was describing it originally that his tribe would only reclaim old human settlements
okay.
for nature. They were never this
Okay. That
out
I
there
wanted to
about
make
it.
sure.
So
I
that
had
was
correct.
the
I did not.
clarification from what he said. So I apologize if I wasn't clear on that one. But
Well,
only recently have they started
is-
raising cities in the name of
He
nature.
is aware. Sebastian is fully aware of the fact that he admitted that he was the one that dug up the bones and delivered the
One of the few,
necessary
yes.
materials to resurrect a creature. Which, one of the questions is: was he aware that delivering these bones would resurrect a creature that would result in the deaths of many people? Which summoning a lich dragon would
No.
absolutely result in the deaths of people.
I did not know. I was told that we were looking for evidence of transgressions, artifacts of transgressions.
Dominic, okay. Once again, Dominic assumed me speaking.
I mean,
was
he did
a
also
direct-
literally say that earlier.
You said that you had questions for him, so I was assuming you were rattling off the questions.
Yes,
I
but
apologize.
the reason I'm not going through the questions right now is because we're trying to wrap up.
Well,
the
let's go
session,
through. Let's
and
go
I don't
through the
wanna
questions.
sit here for
Before wrapping up.
Yes, let's ask the questions because I'm
Like-
going to wrap up the session once we're done with this convo. So please do what you want to do. To be honest, Alex has been doing a lot of the talking right now.
True.
I wasn't talking for a specific reason.
Anyway,
Because
please interact with him.
Well,
Do what you want to do.
For one, were you aware of what you were doing when you were delivering those bones? Were you aware they would be resurrected into a lich dragon?
No, I was not. Plain and simple. As I described, I thought that I was excavating ancestors or searching for evidence of transgression, echoes of the past.
The truth? That's. I might need to. I don't know if he's telling the truth. He could be lying.
You can see sincerity in his face. He's told a lot. He's admitted to, while not specifically saying anything, he's admitted to doing awful things. So, were he to admit those things, he believes and is fully trusting in you because of what the mayor's done for you. What the mayor allowed.
What is it?
You know.
What is it that you have done personally by your own hand?
Must you know?
Yes.
He sighs heavily again. I've done as I was asked. I marched on villages. I destroyed. I've killed. For fear, for hope that every step I took might bring me closer to escape or stopping the madness. But I've looted, I've broken, I've destroyed, and I've killed. All under orders.
Sebastian is silent for a solid 10 15 seconds.
He gives you a good look over, and he slinks back a little bit, waiting for your next move.
I have to make a right choice here. Judgment does not necessarily mean death. So, killing him is not necessarily a required punishment. But depending on how severe his actions are, I must make a choice. Because if I help him, so the thing is, if I am involved in helping him in any way with personal problems, I potentially become an oathbreaker. Because
Which
as
is
vengeance,
go
as
go
a
go go.
vengeance, well, because as a vengeance paladin, my rules are very strict. Like the wicked deserve no mercy. That is essentially the whole point of the oath. So I'm very reluctant.
Are you being upfront with him about this?
No, I'm speaking out of character.
I heard
in order
you.
To,
I see you.
in order to determine my next course of action, I can't play stupid like I normally do because I was in the room when he asked of this. I never agreed to help him, but I'm a part of this party. And if the party does it with me in tow, essentially it would also count as me helping him. And it's purely because of the talisman. If I help him by delivering him the talisman,
Well, then just you don't deliver it.
The gods slash paladinism is not quite that easily circumvented. This isn't Baldur's Gate 3. You can't just not open Saz's cage.
No, I'm not talking about. No, I'm not talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Cameron. I know. I was making a joke.
So I'm not trying to hold everybody up. I'm genuinely struggling with a decision because I know for a fact.
I can say I've made my decision.
I made my decision as well.
And I know what I'm going to do if anything happens here.
Same.
So, Sebastian, you are seeing from your party, they have conviction in their eyes. I'm not sure about Ocularis. I'm not sure what the fuck he's doing over there.
Nobody knows.
Oh, I'm writing in my book. I am.
Ocularis doesn't care.
I'm enjoying.
Ocularis doesn't care if this man lives or dies.
I genuinely feel terrible. I'm at a loss of what.
You take note that he sees what's going on.
Crimes.
By the way,
he's admitted to grievous crimes. And that's the problem.
The old druid takes a look at you and how your party is looking at you.
I must say real quick, my last observation is the problem is how I see it. He admits to grievous crimes, and he admitted that he spent a lot of time, claims looking for escape, claims looking for a way to end it. If he truly felt deep down that it was wrong, he should have ran. And for a paladin of vengeance and how Sebastian feels about the situation, if he were in this guy's position at the time, he would have fought. If he didn't have the power to fight, he would have ran at the first sight.
You do know that he did run.
That easy.
He did run. No, I know it's not that easy. But again, to Sebastian, it's about Sebastian would rather sacrifice himself and die trying to escape than to commit the crimes in the first place. He willingly carried out the orders despite the choice of running. He seems to feel bad about it, and he seems to want this to end. So here's what Sebastian will ask next. How capable are you now? Are you well in a fight?
No. You know what they done to me? My connection with nature. It's severed.
Sebastian in anger says, I care not for what they have done to you.
It directly ties to your question. You know.
I care for the yes or no.
No.
That is all that is important to me.
I don't have fight left in me. I can barely call forth my druidic powers, if any. I can no longer take the shape of those in nature. They took that from us when our first druid made the pact.
Now, from what I remember, druid magic comes. I don't remember how druids gain their magic.
Through nature.
Well, yes.
They draw their power from nature.
Become a druid, I don't remember.
Years of study in communal with nature. You basically spiritually attune yourself to the natural world.
Which would be, after what he's done, not be a possibility to do again.
Though,
I mean,
yeah,
probably could eventually reattune, but if he's old, older, it might not take, or it might be
too long, reasonably, is what you're trying to say.
Another question now has occurred in my head that is important. Why did you not want him digging in your mind?
Want the real honest answer?
Yes.
I don't want you. I can't trust you. Not delve in and take the information that I have. What I've promised you after you've freed my tribe. I can't even guarantee my own mind won't just give it up. That's why I don't want you in my mind.
Oh God, I have no intention. That's my problem. Speaking out of character, Sebastian would have no intention of freeing his tribe. Not a single ounce in his mind. Those who willingly followed and those who even manipulated by Hinselitis, it doesn't matter. To Sebastian's mind, they've done too much. They don't deserve freedom. If I were to speak directly from the tenets of my God and my oath, they don't deserve to be free.
If I were to speak from our previous actions, though, we did let the guy who was in Ballbutt walk free. Just saying. And he was being controlled. And he caused great evil.
Which one?
So, the king's assistant.
The
one that was
the
being
but the difference was the king's assistant was being directly possessed. He was being directly possessed and manipulated directly like a puppet. These people were swayed by words into committing horrible atrocities.
True.
That's why I didn't see a problem with letting the king's assistant go. Because he literally did not have any control of himself.
Yeah.
His tribe heard what was wanted of them and agreed to commit that act. To Sebastian, they don't deserve freedom. Like, after that, there's no redemption. They basically have destroyed an entire country.
So, taking note of your immense energy, your anger, your seething hatred,
I'll say it out loud. I'll have Sebastian say it. Your tribe does not deserve freedom. Not in my eyes. And I will not be a part of freeing them. They have committed grave atrocities by choice. Whether they were manipulated by words or not, they consciously followed. That is unforgivable.
He looks down at his feet He looks up at you again, and despite gritted teeth, he asks, "Can one man atone for the sins of his people?"
No. No.
And do you intend then to send all of us to the grave to meet our ancestors? What is your intent?
Those who raise their blades to me will die by my hand. Those who choose not to will not. But those who are caught shall face the consequences of their crimes. And in time, that will include you. Execution is not what is required, though you must pay.
And if I... No, you've already answered me that question, haven't you? He looks away for a little while. And he then looks back up to you, shakes his head. Fine. Do as you wish. I can't exactly stop
No.
you.
As a player reminder, Sebastian said he will not be part of freeing them. If you guys still want to free them, Sebastian won't stop you, but he will not help. If it comes down to it and there is something that needs to be done to free them from this or to convince them, it will be up to you guys alone. And like if we need to try to talk them down, Sebastian will not try.
Well, I don't imagine talking is going to do them any good until we've severed the connection.
Well,
True.
that's what I mean. Like, if it comes down to it, in order to preserve my oath, I just simply will not assist in any convincing or any other actions required to free, to his definition of free. Sebastian just won't be involved. I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to actively attempt to stop you guys from doing what you want, but in order to preserve my oath, I am taking a back seat when that time comes. That is my decision, I guess,
And so
for Sebastian, and that is Sebastian's resolve.
he
He will uphold the promise that anybody that raises his blade to him in this situation will meet their end. If Sebastian wins the fight, there is obviously, but he will not show mercy to them.
He takes a look, by the
during
way,
the fight
at the lot of you, and with a saddened and hopeless look on his face, he motions to the door. Please leave. And could you come back? I don't know. May as well either be to kill me or to bring me my friend's talisman. I know not which. At this point, it doesn't matter anymore. But please leave. Please.
Now I feel bad. But as
Solera
a player,
is going
Good.
to now
I feel
Good.
terrible. Well,
less,
I mean,
I'm kidding,
less
I'm
stealthily
kidding.
than it went in, draw her hand out of the bag, which was firmly gripped around a scroll of dimension door.
Yeah, don't, Cameron. I know
well,
it's character.
Sebastian will exit the building. He is not well.
He's
Right
not
now?
doing hot. He's
Nope.
Next, so I don't hold us up any longer. The next session, Sebastian will talk to everybody about what was happening and why. It's part of the reason why I am very much at this moment very much scared of my decisions in these moments. I promise you this is not like me just trying to be dramatic.
after all.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I think we're gonna have to end it here because it's quite late and it's well past when we normally go. And I'm also afraid of my computer running out of space. So
There's an ad.
we will see you guys next. There's an ad. Seriously, right as I'm about ready to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
fucking
wonder if it's Aquaman for Duncan.
fucking
Oh, there we
Aquaman.
No, I got a Final Fantasy 16 Butterfinger ad.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad.
So I will see you guys next week. We'll get back to more P's and Q's next week. But I've got a skedoodle so I can make some room on this damn hard drive. As a paladin of vengeance, Duncan says, well said, honestly. So
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Honestly, yeah, I'll agree.
Before we have, I will just say, I was first readying to use
the flashbang
robe of
cape.
scintillating colors if Sebastian attacked, and then I second guessed
I-
and switched to readying to use a scroll of dimension door and
I had to-
teleporting as close to the wall as I could
Oh,
possibly get.
I
If
was
it makes you
also-
feel any better, oh, go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I was ready to use my memory magic because I can remove memories, and oh boy, I was gonna do a lot of cutting up of recent events.
Would you break your oath if you had your memories removed and you helped a criminal? Would that break my oath?
No, but
Because
were
that's
you
not
to
a-
ever
that's
were
not-
you
Have
to
use
ever
it
learn?
intentionally.
Were you to ever learn? That would be an incredible breach of trust and
Honestly,
worthy of
yeah,
a
if
vengeance
Sebastian
itself.
If Sebastian were to learn of that,
Kunj,
it would end up
Kunj,
turning
as a
against
follower
you.
of Bahamut yourself, you would know that that would be a horrible transgression, sir.
True, but
Honestly, yeah.
I just
you
felt
would
like the guy
say-
really like
Go
I
ahead.
don't know. I like
Well,
Kuhn's
yeah,
not
I
a
mean-
paladin of vengeance for one, so he doesn't follow the same logic that
Right.
the paladin does.
Yeah, my plan A was actually going to be to attempt to strike Sebastian with like paralysis poison, but I don't think
Sebastian is a Giga Chad
Delirious
thickest
puny-
lad
yeah
who is
yeah,
going to
Delira's
resist that shit
puny little
probably.
whip. That if I could even hit him in the first place, and then he'd probably resist it. So
I
I
have a
thought,
very
that's
high
It'd be
probably
like
not gonna work.
you'd hear the crack of whips against insanely powerful armor, and then it'd just be the look of like spaghetti falling out of your pocket.
I will say, if it makes anybody feel any better, I had no intentions of just straight up attacking him. I had no intentions of doing that, because not only would that suck to do as a player in this moment, it just, I don't think he deserves death.
I mean, it would have
I
given me a
think
cool moment.
True, absolutely. But it would have been
True.
such a dick. What if I succeeded? Like, if you failed to paralyze me and say,
Well, no,
Kunj,
well, I
you
would say
failed to.
my current plan was, or like my most recent
Right.
plan was to dimension door him out of there.
But it's just a dick move.
And then it
for me to
becomes
do.
Benny
It would have been
Hill.
a dick. It would have been a dick move, and I know a lot of Paladin players do that kind of shit. I don't.
Well,
because
here's the
it's
thing: you
not
don't
just me
have
at the
to.
table.
But that's a discussion for a later time. We got a
Yeah,
skedoodle.
true.
I'm promising you, it's because of my computer. I
Yeah.
genuinely have like 5 gigabytes of space left or some bullshit.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
love you guys.
I will
I'm
see you
gonna
guys
go 'cause
next
the
week.
dog is crying. So
Yep,
Next
Yeah.
week,
Bye.
y'all. More P's and Q's.
Bye,
Maybe
guys.
Parker will show up. Bye.
hopefully.